tinfoil hat.
Oh, what the fuck are you even talking about?
Global controls will have to be imposed, and a world governing body will be created to enforce them.
Welcome to Tinfoil Hat. We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Are you ready to get your mind blown?
All right, guys, welcome to Tinfoil Hat, live from the Wise Wolf Gold and Silver Studios. That's right, if you go to samtripoli.gold, use the promo code Tinfoil, you too can get in on the Precious Metals game for as little as $50 a month. Precious Metals sent right to your house. Get in it, guys. The fiat dollar is crazy right now. It's just getting murdered. Put your money in Precious Metals. Stabilize that stuff. I'm very excited to have our next guest on. He has been on the show multiple times, said stuff that has sent shockwaves through the listeners, people questioning their own reality. We're very excited. He is from the Live Longer. We're very excited to have him on. Christian Yardonov, how are you, brother?
I am good, guys. Good to see you.
Live Longer Formula. We love you, and we're very excited to have you back on. Christian, for those who may not be familiar with your past appearances, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and where our listeners can find you?
Yeah, so I am a health practitioner and longevity author, and I have a health optimization and longevity program at livelongerformula.com. We offer free masterclass, free initial health assessment. So anyone interested in taking care of their health can check that out. And yeah, my background is I started in my first health book was on autism. So I kind of, have a lot of experience in that area. But my true love is like health optimization, longevity, this kind of stuff. So that's kind of my main jam.
I love it, dude. We love you, and we're very thankful that we work with you, man. So listen, my goal right now is by New Year's Eve to have dropped down to 185.
What are you at right now?
What do you know?
I'm thinking I'm 210.
When was the last time you were 185?
Probably 11th grade.
Yeah, I bet you look like...
No. I'll tell you when I was last 185. Was about 16, 17 years ago.
Because you're what, like 6'1", right?
I'm 6, barely. I'm starting to shrink.
That's pretty tall for 185.
Yeah.
At your age. Especially.
Well, I want to get down to that.
Good
because
luck.
I'm getting
Godspeed.
murdered in jiu-jitsu right now. I can't move. So...
That's what it is. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just getting murked by everybody.
Bro, quick tip for the jiu-jitsu. Have you ever heard of a supplement called beta-alanine?
No. Dude, send me
Bro,
that. I'll take it right now.
Yeah.
I'll snort it.
That's like a common ingredient they put in pre-workouts. That's the one that gives you the tingly feeling all over your skin. The itchy anus plays more dates.
I love itchy anus. Anybody else love the itchy anus? Makes you feel alive.
So that is a perfect supplement for jiu-jitsu because you're grappling for long periods of time. So that is a good supplement to kind of just increase endurance of muscle sort of contractions. So if you get that, start taking it like 4 or 5 grams a day over like a week or two, you will absolutely crush compared to, relatively speaking, to your previous performance. Guarantee you, bro.
Send me a link, dude. Send me a link. Email me a link. I'll buy it right now. Dana will love that. I'm taking yet another thing. What is this? What are you taking? My God. I'm like, dude, just let me live my life.
I got the butt tingles here.
I need the itchy anus, dude. I need that now. That's how I know I'm alive. So you've been on the show before. You've said stuff that I had people who are friends of mine go, dude, what? I got to look into it. Oh, no. So people who, you talked a lot about the fasting before and all that stuff, and that was controversial to some of the listeners. But now you got something else you want to talk about, and that is the serotonin scam. So why don't we get into it? Where do you want to start?
Yeah, and by the way, interesting that you mentioned the fasting because this discussion at some point we can segue into the whole fasting thing because as you will see, fasting raises serotonin, and that is actually what researchers with like lab rats and stuff, when they're trying to model depression in a rat, one of the ways in which they make a rat depressed is they starve it, right? That's a model of depression in animals. And what that does, they've known, is that raises serotonin, and that kind of already hints at, is this like the happiness chemical as it's been marketed at us as, or is it actually a stress chemical? And just quick aside, I'm not like the expert on this topic. I have a great interest in it over the last couple of years because my my mother, when I was like a teenager, my mother was on antidepressants. It was horrible. Like, it was a horrible sort of thing she went through, and for the whole family, it was like pretty hell on earth type stuff. So I know, like, with the maybe, I don't know, 25 million Americans being on SSRIs this year
what a topic
alone,
right now too
that
to talk about.
a lot of people are affected, so that's why I want to spread the information.
I have a lot of people close to me that are taking SSRIs. I get very nervous for them because there seems to be a programmability going on with that as well. We've had people in the past talk about how they can send basically radio waves into you through metals and stuff like that. And it just seems like there's a lot of connections between these SSRIs and these school shootings. A lot of these kids are on this drug. And I just feel like it's a masking. One of my friends, Brody Stevens, rest in peace, brother, no longer with us, took his own life. He was on meds like that, and he was changing meds, and in that change time, he basically he was mentally unstable, we'll say, and he offed himself.
Because it's all trial and error, right? At the end of the day?
Yeah, I mean, they have you
doctors,
running back and forth between different drugs depending on how you feel at that time, and it mentally messes with people. And it's just really hard. I have a good friend of mine who's on it, and he's a really like kick-ass dude. And when he told me he was on, I was very shocked because he is a pretty stable guy. And I'm just kind of like, why are you on that? I mean, I don't know him all the time and how he feels when he's alone, but I get very nervous when I hear people are on that. It makes me very nervous for them.
You like when you hear serotonin, I'm sure like all of you guys and almost everybody, you would think that's kind of the thing you've heard about it. That's the happiness chemical, right?
Isn't it something that a lot of people want to give kids to help them sleep as well?
Well, I know that when I looked at
melatonin. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and we were discussing this the last time. But serotonin can be converted to melatonin, right? So they are related. But just XG, if you want to like share the screen and just show, I have some screenshots of like studies and various things. But if you look at Wikipedia, dude, if you look up serotonin on Wikipedia, you're gonna see this serotonin is a common. You can just scroll down to Wikipedia and then a little bit down. So you can see serotonin is a common component of venoms of various like mollusks, insects, scorpions, worms, and jellyfish.
Serotonin is God.
Serotonin is one compound of the poison contained in stinging nettles.
My God.
The gastrointestinal parasite Entamoeba histolytica secretes serotonin, causing a sustained secretory diarrhea, aka explosive diarrhea, in some people, right? And then if you scroll down a bit further, next page, and then the next page. This is from Wikipedia. Yeah, stop there. This is from Wikipedia. Despite its long-standing prominence in pharmaceutical advertising, the claim that low serotonin levels cause depression is not supported by scientific evidence. So even Wikipedia, you will see this is blanketly admitted in the mainstream. It's not a low serotonin problem, depression, right? Yet they use it for everything from depression to like mania to like bulimia, like eating disorders. Dude, apparently some doctors prescribe it for premature ejaculation. I had one client, he was he had like premature ejaculation, so he told me he would take an SSRI, he could go for an hour So like but the when you kind of understand what serotonin is, it's basically a stress chemical. So when you're stressed, its role is, because when you're stressed, you have like a certain amount of energy in the body, so you have to like ration it to certain processes in the body, right? So what serotonin does is it shuts down certain parts of the body. So it has this effect where it helps you survive the stress, and it also has this additional effect of numbing you to the pain. So if you can imagine, just like an experiment in MK Ultra, they're torturing people, and they're finding that raises their serotonin level.
Whoa.
What serotonin does is it basically helps you disassociate from the pain and the suffering.
Oh
So,
my
and
God.
that's the most extreme case, right? And we know that, MK Ultra, they did a bunch of research with LSD and things like that. So this kind of getting ahead of myself here, but they found around the time when they discovered serotonin was like the late 40s, early 50s. They kind of started understanding its biological roles. So then in that time, in the 50s and the 60s, they were doing all these like, covert experiments with like LSD and things like that. And then we know they did the army experiments, dude. So what they found is when you give a soldier LSD, they're extremely difficult to control. So that was a huge problem for them. They're very difficult to like line up and follow instructions. Then they near that time they realized if you have a guy tripping on acid and you inject them with serotonin, it basically acts like a trip killer. So they kind of framed LSD in the public eye that this is the thing that will make you crazy, and then they started to kind of position serotonin as the normalcy sort of hormone. But they realized, bro, that serotonin actually, if you elevate it in a person, they're much easier to control. Does that make sense?
Yes, that is, and everything's about control. Dark arts, dude. Dark arts. And it's so funny that your buddy goes, your client goes an hour. Women are very interesting when it comes to sex. Like the whole running thing is like you finish too quickly, they get upset. But if you go too long, they get upset too.
An hour is a long time.
An hour is a long time of activity.
You put your back out in an hour. You put your back out,
you
bro.
need a nap, dude.
You need a
nap
chiropractor.
after that, and then they want to go again. You're like, dude, I'm 52. Let me nap. I need to sleep.
But check this out, bro. So lower down that document, I have a couple of studies, and I'll just quickly kind of go over them. But there's one paper. It's called "Serotonin Kills Libido" is the section XG. But basically, this paper is titled "Pharmacology of Serotonin and Female Sexual Behavior." Okay, so this is published in 2014, but you can see there. I have a quote from the paper. They say that a contribution of serotonin to the modulation of female sexual behavior has been
this is not it. Is it down?
Serotonin kills libido on the left.
Oh, okay. Look it up.
Yeah,
There it is. There it is. Whoa.
Yeah. So basically, they just to kind of for the folks not watching, a contribution of serotonin to the modulation of female sexual behavior has been appreciated since the early 1960s, when a variety of compounds with effects on the serotonin system were found to reduce female rodent sexual receptivity. So just to kind of plain English, and they kind of say it in the rest of the study. I have like down below this, I have some quotes from the paper, but they say the bulk of evidence supported the hypothesis that compounds that increased serotonin reduced female sexual behavior, and compounds that decreased serotonin facilitated sexual behavior. And below that, they state most antidepressants can produce sexual dysfunction in human females, but SSRIs are associated with the highest incidence. So talking about depopulation and just kind of that whole spiel, imagine you give, what is it, like, it's the majority of people on SSRIs are women, right? So tens of millions. We're talking about 30 to 40 million on people on antidepressants, and maybe 63% of that or so is SSRIs. So we're talking about tens of millions of Americans, a lot of them women. You give them this stuff, especially a lot of them like 30, 40 years of age, right? And they want to have less sex with the dudes, right? And then the study below that, they are saying They're and this is, by the way, this is super out there. It's not like we're not. These are like, for example, the one below this study. If you just scroll down one page, the paper below it is Journal of Clinical Psychopharmacology, and it's called Treatment Emergent Sexual Dysfunction Related to Antidepressants. So this is well known that even on Wikipedia, if you scroll down one more, if you see for Prozac's page, fluoxetine on Wikipedia, under the heading sexual dysfunction, they state more recent studies in which the investigator actively inquires about sexual problems suggest that the incidence is 70%. That means 70% of people that take SSRIs reported sexual dysfunction.
Is this
Right.
forever, or is this like if they
While
get
you're
off the
on the
pill?
drug.
Yeah, if they get off the pill, does this go away, or do they just?
So apparently it can take a very long time to resolve on its own. If you let's say get like a very open-minded doctor, they actually give you some kind of opposite end of the spectrum. So serotonin and dopamine are antagonistic. They're like a seesaw. If one is high, the other one is low. So if you go in there with a person like that and give them something that boosts dopamine and excretes the serotonin and just kind of gets that balance in place, they can recover faster. But I've heard that some of these drugs that are specifically target like dopamine in terms like lowering or antagonizing or like messing with the receptors, some of that dysfunction people get is like permanent almost, so very, very nefarious, dude. But check this out, dude. The craziest part is that just in the example of Prozac, what it does is we know it increases serotonin, but some of its effects are to block some of the serotonin receptors. So when you take it, let's say day one, week one, whatever, when it's blocking serotonin's effects in your body, you feel relief. So you're like, oh my God, this thing actually works, right? But then long term, it's raising your serotonin, and we can discuss later, but serotonin actually drives scarring of your tissues, of your organs, called fibrosis, which is a precursor stage to cancer.
Oh my
right?
God,
So you might get relief in the immediate term or maybe near term, but long term you're actually, what they're doing is, and this is my opinion here, but what they're doing is, it's very difficult if you take a antidepressant like this for 5, 7, 10 years, which they want you to, they tell you have to taper it very slowly, blah blah. But if you do that, imagine all these fibrotic processes going on, scarring of your organs, that later turns into cancer or some kind of fibrotic disease, of which there's like tons.
God, dude.
Very difficult to pinpoint that. A lot of plausible deniability there for those companies, isn't it?
And do you have to taper off? Is it really bad if you just
long time
all of a sudden want to stop taking this SRI? Is it dangerous?
You gotta 100%, dude.
Oh shit! So it's kind of like
you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
It took my mother like years to she weaned herself off of them.
You got to
but it took
wean
her
off.
years.
It's a very dangerous game to play. And this kind of gets into what we talk about all the time on the show, which is depopulation, dark arts, black magic to lower the population. And you just, one of my algorithms is basically watching cops have to show up to domestic violence calls. And in particular, when girlfriends go crazy on guys, and studies have shown over and over and over and over and over again that progressive women are the most medicated demographic on the planet, in particular in the United States. They're completely medicated. So now we got them on birth control, and now we got them on SSRIs. Imagine what's happening to their psyche, dude.
Cat ladies. That's what that's kind of, that's what I feel like there's more of that.
It's like this vicious circle where it's like they don't want to get pregnant because they want to live their life. They want to have fun. They want to do all this. And then at some point they don't have kids. They start getting really sad. So then they start doing SSRIs, which makes it really hard for them to want to have sex. And then it is a vicious.
And this is not just used for depression. They use this shit off label for all kinds of other things. They just throw it at people. It's really
dark arts, dude.
And but by the way, you can go back one heading up. Serotonin enhances learning, from punishment. Just talking about dark arts and stuff, man. Like there's some like more. A lot of this is animal research, but this was a human study where they gave them like a single dose of a dose of an SSRI, or they gave it to them over a week, and then they had to play like a game where they kind of through that game, it's like almost like a card game, like a gambling game. It showed that serotonin boosts or enhances learning from punishment and reduces learning from reward. And kind of when you think about the new psycho,
shit.
you know, all of these like calamities, you know, COVID, all of these like things, a lot of like, and how the government treats you, you know what I mean, your relationship with the government, you're kind of thinking they definitely want to do things that raise our serotonin, because then we would be more malleable through their other sort of ancillary practices, right?
Oh my
So there was
God.
this is pretty insane. There was another paper, it's somewhere there down below, but basically they were showing that crabs exposed to small amounts of like water that has, you know, like sewage runoff and it has SSRIs, they like get super aggressive with each other. Also, that they would like go and forage during times when they normally wouldn't, because there would be predators around. So if they get the SSRI, they basically turns them into retards, you know, in a sense.
Oh my God!
They just go out forage while the predators are abound, you know. Pretty
They get
insane
dangerous.
stuff, dude.
They get reckless. Wow!
Yeah.
Just think about like. Well, I mean, let's just take a look at Minnesota or any of these school shootings. Like there's a real debate, like how many of them are just patsies that are being blamed for it. But I mean, like, talk about wanting to live dangerous, and you're on this stuff, and it makes you take chances like your normal drive wouldn't want you to. Your own sensibility.
It's also, you can correlate this to the rise of SSRIs, these school shootings, because it's not like in the 1800s when everybody was packing that kids were going into the schoolhouse blowing people away. It just wasn't happening back then, because and nobody was getting SSRIs back then. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
dude, it is. This is absolutely insanity. Holy shit. Hey guys, listen, I'm telling you this. The crypto market is back and it's on fire, dude. I just made a nice gripaloo on the coin called Retire, okay? If you want to find out those hidden treasures that nobody else knows about, there's one man you got to look to, and that's our friend James McMahon and Copy My Crypto. Let me tell you about Copy My Crypto. Guys, does it piss you off to watch crypto fly up in price for over a decade and you've still done nothing about it? It makes sense. Crypto is complicated and really boring. Well, here's the good news. You don't need to know a thing about crypto to make money like so many have. The CopyMyCrypto.com membership site shows you the exact cryptos that YouTuber James McMahon personally owns, which means you just copy him. It's like having a big brother that knows exactly what he's doing. You don't need to know a thing or how to. You don't need to know a thing about crypto or how to invest. You just simply copy along. So let me tell you about James. He runs the Crypto with James YouTube channel, which has so many more subscribers, and this says 54,000. It's way past that. Okay, he's got a ton of subscribers. In the summer of 2020, he told his viewers to buy 26 cryptos. Had you put $100 in each one, it went on to be worth over 123,000. Of the 26 cryptos, his top pick of the year, the one he singled out, Phantom, went up 692 times. That happens, man. That one call alone has retired a number of people, including guys in their 20s and 30s. Remember, this is public knowledge. You can go to YouTube and verify yourself. So if you'd like to join the over 2,800 members who copy James, then pause what you're doing and head over to copymycrypto.com/tinfoil. That's copymycrypto.com/TFH. Okay. You'll not only find proof of everything I've said, but our viewers get full access for just $1. Yes, you've missed out on crypto. Buy a little bit here and there, buy a little bit here and there. But there's over 2 million other cryptos. Do you really think you miss out on all of them? Nope. Guys, don't waste time. Go to the site and read it. Once again, that's copymycrypto.com/TFH. It's ended money worries for so many. It just may do the same for you. Hey guys, real quick, man. Listen, we're all looking to take a little bit of edge off this stress out there. Let me tell you about the best company to help you out with that. Cornbread Hemp. They got everything you want. They got
CBD seltzer, CBD gummies, CBD everything.
everything. Let me tell you about Cornbread Hemp. Have you been looking for a natural way to relieve aches and discomfort? The CBD gummies from Cornbread Hemp are formulated to work with your body and not against it. Cornbread Hemp CBD gummies are made to help you feel better, whether it's stress, discomfort, or just needing a little relaxation. They only use the best part of the hemp plant, the flower. Formulated to help relieve discomfort, stress, and sleeplessness. All products are third-party, lab-tested, and USDA organic to ensure safety and purity. Okay, so here's what we need you to do. Right now, Tinfoil Hat listeners, aka the Swarm, okay, can save 30% on their first order. Just head to cornbreadhemp.com/
Tinfoil.
That's cornbreadhemp/
Tinfoil.
and use the code
Tinfoil.
at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/
Tinfoil.
and use the code.
Tinfoil.
And we thank them for sponsoring our show.
Do these drugs work? I mean, do these drugs work for anybody? Is there like 10 people out of like the 100 that are like, yo, this is great? Like my life got 10 times better. Is there that one claim of person that can be like, yo, this is amazing. It's a life changer.
Well, that is a good question. Like, so if you go back to it's near the top, serotonin is elevated, so just under the Wikipedia entry. So there's a paper there called "Is Serotonin an Upper or Downer?" And it's a very, very long and detailed paper. But these guys basically dismantle the whole hypothesis that serotonin is low in depression. In fact, they show that it is high in several types of depression. And they show like this. These are the guys that later on we can discuss how the researchers give the animals depression through various stressors. But they talk about the reason for a lot of people there's a therapeutic delay between starting the antidepressant and getting the effect, maybe like 4, 6 weeks, 8 weeks down the line, is not because of the therapeutic sort of role of the drug. It's because of the body's own compensatory sort of system. So it's like downregulates its own production of serotonin, and then various receptors for serotonin to like start downregulating them. Because when you have a lot of something in the body, let's say serotonin, the body knows that, so it will try to either lower production, one thing, or become more resistant to it. So maybe to have less receptors, or certain places it will start downregulating, basically like, eating them up and turning them to other proteins and stuff in the cell. So they're saying that it's the therapeutic effect is probably from that compensatory sort of adaptive thing the body does, nothing to do with the actual fucking poison, which, by the way, Prozac is 18 to 19%. That is fluorine, which is like the gas fluorine, which you've heard of. Everybody has obviously listening here has heard of fluoride, and we know that's neurotoxic and bad, but that's the salt form of fluorine. And Prozac is like, by molecular weight, like 18-90% fluorine from my kind of from where I looked into it. Why of all things does it have to be fluorine? So just to answer your question in a different way there, XG, some of these drugs, remember I said earlier, some of them actually, they raise serotonin in the longer term, but they block some of the serotonin receptors. So the action of serotonin in the body can be like blunted, although the problem is long term you're getting more of the serotonin, which is causing you more problems. So some of the effect that people get relief from is those anti-serotonin receptor effects. And then I've also seen that some of these drugs, like I think Prozac is the one, it can raise certain other neurosteroids in the brain, in the nervous system, that are actually like anxiolytic. They kind of lower anxiety. So there's other like effects that are not the main effect, that are like side effects or ancillary effects that could be giving you the benefit. But the actual main effect, dude, like as you see in this article here, they're like, it's not even low in depression. Serotonin is high in many phenotypes of depression. That's how crazy, like, good pharma are at marketing without giving two damns because they own the FDA, they own the government,
Yep.
they're all in this, you know.
And this is just like when I hear the guy I love with all my heart, Brian Callen, talk about, you know, all of the positive things that the big pharmaceuticals has done. It's just, I cringe at it, dude. I'm like, dude, you got it.
No, but he's pulling your leg, bro. He's
No.
he's
He
pulling your leg.
believes it, dude. It like, I'll tell you that about Brian Callen.
He's just acting really well, dude. Like for years and years, he's really good at acting.
Well, he is a great actor, but he is genuine in his beliefs. He is just from a different time, dude. And there's so much data coming out now that belief is. I'm sure we could find instances of where where pharmaceutical companies have done something that has helped people. I'm sure we could find it. If we went through the garbage bin, the dumpster of life, when we just kept going through it, we could find some. Go look at this. It actually helped. Okay, fine, but you're just totally omitting all the garbage that's surrounded by that diamond in the rough you found. Right,
Sam. Sorry to interrupt, but you know what? This is gonna blow your mind.
I'm already
But
blown. It's completely shattered.
One of those places where pharma actually have done good stuff, believe it or not, is actually chemicals that block serotonin, bro. Now, didn't include this because it would be too long-winded. But if you go on Wikipedia and you look for serotonin antagonists, let me just do this very quickly. Serotonin antagonists. You're gonna see there's a few different ones, but basically these are chemicals that block serotonin's effects, either all of the receptors or some of the receptors, right? And there's one called cyproheptadine, which is an antihistamine as well. It's like from the 60s. It's one of the oldest antihistamines. And the problem with that one, why it's not in wide use allegedly, is because it makes people drowsy. So in the States, you can't get that. Even your doctor can't get that for you.
Oh, they blocked that.
But yeah, of course, the one, and this, by the way, there was a case study paper on PubMed published where a woman in her like 60s or something, she had liver cancer, dude, hepatocellular carcinoma it had spread to the bones, so with a bone metastasis. They gave her this serotonin and histamine blocker for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, they gave her just that 3 times a day, 4 milligrams. I think that was it. The cancer went away completely. They couldn't find the cancer in the bones. They couldn't find it in the liver. And then 4 years or so later, I forget, like 38 months later or whatever, they did follow up and whatever, the cancer was still gone. And this is over the counter in certain countries. I think in the UK it's over the counter. In Australia you can get it from your pharmacist. In Spain, I get mine from Spain. I order direct from Spain. But so that's one. There was another one, I forget the name of it, man. But this one, they took it off the market due to safety concerns. And guess what? It's being researched for as we speak. Freaking brain cancer. Like
what is the drug?
Neuroglioblastoma.
Oh man, send me that.
Something like
send me that link too. I'll
another
order that
another
right
supplement.
now.
Wait, that's the disease, right?
The which? Sorry,
the blastoma is the disease, right?
Neuroglioblastoma. I think pretty sure
What
that's.
is the
I forget
drug though? What's the drug called?
The drug. That's what I'm trying to find out. It was either, it was one of the so that. If you're ever like interested, if you go to Wikipedia and type in serotonin antagonist, all of them will come up. So it was either, so one of them. Hold on. So it's either on Dancentron or, geez, there's so many of them.
Maybe that's for nausea, right?
Maybe Ritanserin. Anyway, but a lot of these, dude. Like if you look at cyproheptadine, by the way, so this is, I mean, it's a histamine blocker, so you can use it like for doctors use it for like if you have psychogenic itch, like if you have itching in your skin, they give you that. People with depression have kind of self-medicated away their depression away with a serotonin blocker. People use it for like insomnia, so like. It's pretty insane, and that's what just kind of the topic was like. how little have pharma done for us. And the crazy part is that one of their best-selling drugs, the SSRI, increasing serotonin, drugs that have the opposite effect of blocking its effects are actually things that are useful for humanity.
It's
You know?
so crazy to me, dude. It is so crazy to me that
Yeah.
they block that stuff. Like they just want us dumb, unhealthy, and dead. Right? So you're like, oh, here's a good thing they do. Oh, by the way, you can't get in the United States. It's not allowed. Think about that, dude. Think about how our health care industry is actively working against healthcare.
The crazy
And
part.
I'll tell you another one, man. I have one of my clients. He's actually a doctor, and his wife had a stroke last month. So we did like a quick one-to-one for me to give him some tips, with stroke recovery. Obviously, I wasn't giving him medical advice. I was just sharing information, one practitioner to another. But anyway, so I gave him like a couple of supplements that are over the counter that are really good for, I personally use them for as nootropics, like for, studying, presenting. And here in Europe, like another client here that I have, her daughter had a stroke after a COVID vaccine, and her doctors here actually put her on that supplement. This guy in the US, the doctor, hadn't even heard of this supplement, CDP choline. And then so there was another one, Alpha GPC, that's really good for the brain, it's good for like brain injury, but also just general brain health and aging support. Hadn't heard of that. But then I told him about another one, which in Europe is like standard of care in some countries. Like if you have a stroke, your doctor will put you on that. It's called piracetam. And the thing about piracetam, dude, it's not even like FDA registered type thing. So you can actually, in the US, you can buy it as a research chemical, as a powder. But like, and it's like legal and everything, but like these scumbags, one of the best thing, my grandma was on this when she had like multiple strokes. She was on this. That was the only thing that allowed her to actually string a sentence together. So these scumbags do something effective that's actually used in European countries, and I think Japan as well, etc. It's not even allowed. Most doctors haven't even heard of it. I was at an Acapulco in February, dude. I was talking to Dr. Bob there, real cool guy, and his son, Dr. Bob as well. He's like a medical doctor, like 5 years old, decades of experience. Hadn't even heard of piracetam, dude. It's like one of the best nootropics, dude. Especially good for verbal fluency, Sam. Obviously, I can't recommend it because it's a research chemical in the USA. It's a drug in the rest of the world. I can't recommend it, but it's such a good nootropic and just so messed up that if you want it, you have to like go to these like, sketchy nootropics chemical vendors to get your own supply,
It is
Can I ask you, Christian, does the
insane.
EU handle these things better than America? Because you mentioned a lot of these things not being available here, but it sounds like possibly they are available abroad. How does the America compare to other countries with respect to this?
Well, so they have both have pluses and minuses, but they're equally like terrible. Here, there's just in general, the population here, at least in the state, most of my clients are in the States, so I know what the level of literacy is in terms of understanding functional medicine, supplementation, the value and benefit. But here, a lot of like, especially folks in like 60 plus, they're like still, oh, my cholesterol, my doctor said my blood work is fine. These supplements are all a scam. So there's a huge lack of education. And yeah, pharma is the same everywhere. It's pretty bad here as well. I mean, we have some more laws around like titanium dioxide and various like food additives and artificial colors and stuff. But in the grander scheme of things, just pick your POS communist garbage dictator MF you want to kill.
I wonder if we can get this in Mexico, all this stuff.
So you can't. Yes, I saw piracetam in Mexico. They have ivermectin. Bought a stash of that. Yeah, that's the other thing. Like, I don't know, like in the States, people tell me how easy it is to get like ivermectin, or hydroxychloroquine. Here, dude, I have to like order mine from a guy that like ships it from India, and you're getting like this like weird looking package. The customs are asking weird questions. So there's a lot of There's a lot of and piracetam. That's another one I hear. I think you can get it through your doctor. The problem, though, if you're getting a pharmaceutical, you're getting with your pill like 6, 7 different other like additives that you don't want, like maybe not in Europe, maybe not titanium dioxide, but silicon dioxide, a bunch of other garbage. So it's not good enough. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, absolutely mind blowing that they are actively working against us. Hey man, take this, okay, for this, but then it causes all this.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's so sad.
Just to XG, if you want to scroll down to the bottom of that sheet, I just want to if you go to how to increase serotonin, I just want to go over very quickly. I don't want to like bore y'all to death here.
I'm like blown away.
So how to increase serotonin is the heading, just kind of near the bottom there, second to last. Yeah. So researchers use various different ways to induce depression in an animal, and all of those ways increase its serotonin. And the first model you see is starvation. So very simply, they starve the poor animal, and what happens is after a while it's going to get depressed, right? And its serotonin will go up. So anybody that tells you, fasting this, autophagy that, cellular cleanup, I mean, dude, researchers use this to make animals depressed. Like if you're fasting, I'm just not telling you what to do, but I really wouldn't recommend it because we've been brainwashed, we've been socially engineered to think that we can starve ourselves to better health. And just a quick thing about the autophagy, just in case somebody out there, this guy's a moron, autophagy this. Autophagy literally means autophagot. So you're self-eating.
Faggots what? Okay, you're
autophagos. Yeah. So you're autophagging yourself. You're basically devour. Fat means devour. So you're self-devouring. So autophagy caused by fasting is called bulk autophagy. It's indiscriminate. So you just break down everything. You're not breaking down just the bad stuff. You're breaking like everything. Like everything gets sacrificed for the greater good to keep you alive. Now, it's actually they've found that, for example, things like exercise, like certain even certain carbohydrates, certain healthier things, shall we say, less stressful things, can also increase autophagy. But that would be the more sort of selective autophagy, where certain organelles that are not functioning well in the cell might get broken down. You have various components there that can be. So things like carbohydrates and exercise can stimulate that kind of autophagy. So if you want autophagy, you don't have to actually starve yourself. So that's one model of giving an animal depression, and that raises serotonin. So that's another kind of thing. If like anything that raises serotonin, you have to know it's probably not good for you long term. Then infection and immune challenge. So if you inject an animal or a human, they've done some of this research where they inject humans with bacterial endotoxin, it's called. That also is a way to increase serotonin. And this is a survival mechanism, because if you have an infection, it's okay for serotonin to increase because it will shut down some areas of the body that are gobbling up energy. It will help you survive the infection. So it's good. The problem is if you follow mainstream advice and you eat a lot of fiber and you have an overgrowth of the wrong kinds of inflammatory bacteria, you're actually feeding those bacteria, and that bacterial endotoxin can get into your bloodstream and cause your immune system to just produce inflammation. So, but we know that also raises serotonin. So if you have a bacterial infection, if your gut is in bits, that will raise your serotonin. Because the other thing to remember there, I don't know if you know, maybe a lot of people know nowadays, something like 90% of your body serotonin is produced in the gut. So if you have a gut issue, that's another way you can actually raise your serotonin. And as we saw earlier, it can basically cause depression, man. It can, mess up your sleep. It can make you not want to have sex with your partner. So really getting the gut working well is super important. Not fasting is super important. Then you have other things. This is where it gets a little bit more tinfoil hat, So you have the inescapable shock model. you have the inescapable shock. So they shock the rats and they can't escape. And basically, this also raises your serotonin or the rat serotonin. And what this does is over time, it creates learned helplessness. This is really something important to understand because this is what your government is trying to do to you. They're trying to induce learned helplessness in you because this is a state where you are just okay with just shit being terrible and getting worse, like COVID or being locked down, or we have to go back to
Yeah.
lockdown again.
Yep.
All of that is there. This is from the playbook of MK Ultra, dude, that they're doing at a mass scale. And so we know if they do that for a long enough time, it will raise our serotonin. It will make us more malleable. Just a quick aside, there was a guy, Martin Seligman. He kind of sort of described this in the 60s. And basically, this dude would just have dogs shocked repeatedly, right? Real nice guy. Real nice
What a
guy.
scumbag.
He would have dogs shocked repeatedly, and they had nowhere to escape. And then after a while, even if, let's say, you open the door and they can escape, they would allow themselves to be shocked and not escape. And this is like, kind of, a lot of us are in a prison in this, matrix that we live in. We're in such a prison that if someone like awake comes and opens the door for us, we wouldn't even like step out.
This is exactly California.
100%.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
exactly California. They burnt down our town and nobody was mad. Except for Spencer Pratt.
Not only that,
Yeah.
and money went missing that no one can account for.
That is exactly what they're doing right now here. Just
and
forming
it continues,
learned
dude.
helplessness. Holy shit.
If you scroll down to 4 and 5 XG, you see chronic social defeat is another one, dude. So when they take smaller subordinate animals and they're repeatedly defeated by larger dominant animals, that also raises serotonin. And basically, I mean, just chronic social defeat. Imagine like the corporate world, this whole sort of, like what the algorithms are boosting, like rich people, flaunting, and you're like this guy just like, grinding, and your car is shitty and your apartment is small, and these like rich ass guys. So there's the chronic social defeat is more subtle. They're using celebrities and stuff like that to get that in there. But then there's also the chronic mild stress. So basically, this is so sick, dude. Like I'm telling you, these researchers are coming back in the next life as like pond scum, dude. Because what they do is
so with you, dude. What's the common theme on the show, everybody, real quick? Depopulation. That's right. Nobody's having kids, and there's one company out there that is fighting the reptilian depopulation agenda, and that's our good friend at Blue Chew. That's right, guys. This isn't about just performance. This is about legacy, and third, legacy. If you know what I'm talking about, give her group chat something to talk about. When you lay it down, like drop the hammer of the gods on her, they'll talk about it and how it gets up. Okay, nothing makes you more of a legend than a little bit of Blue Chew. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. Okay, they're an American company for American men, having American boners for American ladies, unless you're into dudes, and that's dudes too. Okay, it's really that simple. It's really that simple, man. Okay, and we got a special deal for our listeners. As always, get your first month of Blue Chew free using the promo code TINFOIL at checkout and pay $5 for shipping. That's it. Join Blue Chew's mission to upgrade humanity one thrust at a time. Head to BlueChew.com for details and safety info. And we give a big thanks to Blue Chew for sponsoring this show and making more of the swarm. Never pull out. Never again. Blue Chew. It's for humanity.
Jeez.
Hey guys, real quick, if you want to grab tickets to my shows, go to samtripoli.com/events. Chicago is this weekend. So excited. Going to be gigging with the Teebs. Ventura, then Tulsa, then Oklahoma City. Then I'm going to be at the Fat Man at the mothership. Austin is on fire. I don't know why everyone's shitting on it. It's so funny watching all these people talk about the destruction of the Death Squad crew in Austin while every one of the branches is just doing amazing things.
LA is literally on fire.
Literally on fire. What's his name? Cam Patterson just got on Saturday Night Live. You don't think that's trying to get in on the tree of Rogan? You stupid, dumb. Oh, they're crashing a bird. Really? They're playing arenas. Tony Hinchcliffe did 2 nights at Madison Square Garden.
Just had a Netflix.
He did Netflix.
They're top 10 right now.
He did Netflix. What killed Tony? He did Netflix stand-up.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing here? Okay, then Skankfest, November 14th through the 16th. And then the big show as well, second big show of the year, November 21st, the Tinfoil Hat Comedy Night is at the Virgin Hotel. We will be doing stand-up on Friday, going to the Raiders versus Browns on Sunday, then Minneapolis, December 11th through the 13th, and then closing out the year at the Dojo of Comedy. 2 shows there. Robbie the Fire Bernstein and Shane Cashman will be joining me there. So grab your tickets now. Let's get back to it. This is exactly everything going on. We've had an illegal war against Iraq in which weapons of mass destruction weren't there. Nothing happened to those people. When you see George Bush throw out the first pitch, this picture we have right here, I don't even know if this is the exact one, but within the studio, you guys can't see it. It's on Johnny's desk. But basically, dude, when he went out and they cheered him, like after he lied and all these people came back as, look at this, dude. He came out, and I don't even know when this happened. This might have happened around 9/11.
No, that isn't. Yeah, it's 9/11.
Okay. And then he came back recently again.
He's done it multiple times.
During the World Series. You remember when the Rangers won the World Series? Yeah. And he came out and he pitched because he used to own them. And the whole stadium in Dallas, Texas cheered him.
A guy who's got so many bodies on him, man. So many bodies on him.
And how we kind of like, oh man, it was his fault, man. He's a good guy, dog. He's just, he's just a dude trying to, I'd have a beer with that guy, man. It's that Dick Cheney dude. Either one.
You know what's interesting? Just on that point, I have a couple of clients that are like CEOs in like, pretty cutthroat sort of industries. And when we have this urine test we do from home where we have a marker for like dopamine and like adrenaline breakdown, and there's also a breakdown product of serotonin. So when that's very elevated, that indicates there's a lot of serotonin turnover. What I noticed is like more kind of clients like that would have a pretty high that kind of marker for indicating high serotonin. So I found some kind of disparate research that basically they're talking about if you have like I think it was gorillas or some kind of monkeys, but the alpha male would have like double the serotonin level of like the other apes, and then what would happen is if they would remove the alpha, the ape that would kind of become the dominant one, his serotonin level would increase. So what's interesting is it seems like if you're like in a position of power in a hierarchy, high serotonin will make you like authoritarian and kind of just, really put your boot on everybody. But if you're in a subordinate position, the high serotonin would just make you like a soy boy beta cuck type phenotype, archetype, where you're like, oh yeah, govern me harder, daddy, So that's pretty, I'd say probably the people like at the top, maybe like not at the top, but like, all these politicians, the power hungry guys, I'd say a lot of these guys, probably very high serotonin types. And then they're trying to get our serotonin high because, like, again, just going back to the LSD experiments, there's a lot to talk about there. But what they found is LSD, at least in small doses, actually blocks serotonin, right? So I don't know if you've ever taken a microdose of LSD, but dude, like even 10, 20 micrograms, you feel just absolutely amazing. So what at least seems like is happening is when you get even 20 micrograms in your bloodstream and it starts to block some of these serotonin receptors, serotonin can't do its negative effects. This is probably why a lot of people kind of are gravitating to like, psilocybin and microdosing and stuff like that. But what so this is kind of the whole sort of thing. They discovered that if you're blocking serotonin, kind of lost my train of thought here, but if you're blocking serotonin can exert its bad effect. So all of these things, they had to be taken off the market. They have to really like scare the bejesus out of people. In the 60s and the 70s, the war on drugs. Like imagine they did the whole war on drugs, and LSD was one of the most vilified of the compounds. It's the one that will make you, jump off the third floor, and it will make you peel your face like an orange. I remember when I
hold
used
on. Are you trying to tell me right now that LSD is actually not bad for you?
dude, they're studying it for like Alzheimer's disease.
What?
Yeah.
I know nothing. That's what I'm learning today. Everything I thought
And-
is just
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well,
Yeah,
you
dude.
said in small doses. Now in larger doses, does it make people like pliable so that they're more susceptible to influence? Because that's what we've seen from the CIA.
Well, I think that's what they were trying to figure out, and in the end, I think they probably canned the whole thing is because they couldn't like like, it's very we it like some people a small dose can have a very pronounced effect, and other people's a larger dose might have a very mild effect comparatively. So it's very variable, very unpredictable. So I definitely think in higher doses it will have more serotonergic effects, right? So it's in smaller doses it seems to like block it attaches to the receptor without like activating it super hard, and then it blocks serotonin's effect. But let's say if you take like 10x the dose, it's gonna like bind with a higher affinity and then cause a lot of those kind of more like I don't know if y'all ever taken LSD, but in a very high dose, like
yeah.
you can like puke. It's like you're trembling. It's pretty uncomfortable. So that's kind of the serotonergic aspect of it.
What would you say is the difference between that and like psilocybin?
I think they just have a different effect. From what I understand, they still are mostly interacting with a specific serotonin receptor. I think just because of the different structure, they will have a different effect in terms of the experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But just one more thing, dude. If you go on Wikipedia and start like searching around for like mania, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, you're actually gonna see that a lot of it is, at least on the mainstream level, is dopamine is the bad guy. So if you hear dopamine, you hear a lot of folks now, they have a book or a course or a thing where you do a dopamine detox. So dopamine is like the addiction, sort of the degeneracy chemical.
Yes.
And psychosis is caused by that. Allegedly, mania is caused by that. But when you kind of look deeper and you kind of see here going on, it's actually serotonin driving a lot of these things like psychosis, mania. Obviously, we know depression and stuff, but schizophrenia as well, because some of these serotonin blockers can actually stop schizophrenic episodes, like cyproheptadine, for example. So I think what we have to probably unbrainwash ourselves from, many of us at least, is that dopamine isn't the bad guy. In fact, the more you raise dopamine, within reason, probably the better you will feel. Like your libido will be better. Just a quick story. I had a client. He heard me on the macroaggressions podcast
Oh, yeah.
in like December.
Charlie's
So I
episode
signed-
just went out.
Yeah. So I signed up this guy. He's a cop, real nice guy. Like he had adopted a couple of kids from like broken homes and stuff. Super sweet guy. But in January we signed him up, and his main complaints were depression. He couldn't sleep. He was getting sick a lot, and low energy. Right. So I was like, okay, doing the intake, and he told me he's taking this thing called 5-HTP, which you might know. It's basically a precursor to serotonin. It's sold as a supplement.
Yeah.
So he was taking that for 10 years for his depression. Of course, didn't help. But I told him, dude, like you really have to stop this thing. Like, please throw the ball out and never
Is
think
that
about
bad?
Well, that was used. That used to be.
That's what he just said.
No. I know, but it's 5-HTP. I've also heard that you're supposed to take that like
Yes,
before or after doing like Molly and shit
That's right,
because it's
yeah.
supposed to help you.
I used to,
recover.
yeah,
Roll on,
I used to
roll
take
off,
it
it's all that
after
stuff.
the party, thinking that it because you've depleted your serotonin, that's why you feel like garbage. So you want to replete the serotonin. Yeah, we used to do that. But here's the thing: you're definitely depleting neurotransmitters. A lot of even like Adderall and stuff, they're gonna like cause like cocaine. I think they'll cause a surge of stuff to be released, dopamine and maybe serotonin, glutamate, a bunch of stuff. That's why there's such a intense effect. But what happened with this guy, we did that urine test. His serotonin marker was super elevated. Obviously, his dopamine was low. So all I did, well, I mean, we do a lot of different things, but the main thing I told him, here's some stuff to boost dopamine, amino acids, vitamins. Here's some stuff to break down serotonin, just to get these cycles, these metabolic pathways working. So what happened was, so we started working in January, dude. Like this blew my mind. In May, I hadn't seen him in a while. He wasn't showing up to the calls. So I did a quick call with him just to see if is he alive, how's he doing, whatever. So this guy, he looked different, but I thought nothing of it. Started doing the catch up, and then he just said, okay, I'm sleeping better. Yeah, not following the diet too well. It's so busy and so stressed, but I'm taking all the supplements and sleeping better, less depressed. More energy, definitely. Oh yeah, and I lost 18 pounds. I'm like, what? You lost 18 pounds in like 4 or 5 months without even trying. Like, what you know what I mean? So that's kind of when I started digging into it. And this is when when you think about serotonin, if it's a stress hormone or a stress neurotransmitter or chemical, if it's chronically elevated, what it does is to help you survive, it's shutting down your metabolism. It's slowing down your metabolism. And that's why he was eating the food, and instead of turning it into energy and burning it, he was storing it up, right? So when he started breaking down the serotonin, getting it out of his system, he just didn't even make many changes to the diet, but his body just started producing more energy. So he raised his metabolism just by lowering serotonin and raising dopamine, right? There's another thing in research, raising dopamine can actually reverse obesity in like rodents and mice and stuff, right? So point being here is we really have to not fear dopamine. We have to like raise our dopamine, do things that raise our dopamine. That's super important. And they're trying to make us do the opposite. They're like, oh yeah, I have to like do a dopamine detox because it's the exact opposite of what's good for us.
So I am like, let's see how many days I am. Hold on, guys. How many days?
About jerking it?
From adult films. I'm 47 days.
Wow.
That's
Never would have thought that was possible.
47 days.
I'm proud of you, Sam.
Thank you, guys. I am.
No, not?
I wounnuld say that.
No.
We got to wean off it. I always say like, certain things can stay right now. Just get rid of the videos of
41 days off.
47
Is it-
days. I got to get those 6
Is
days.
it public
Don't shortchange
information?
it, man.
Don't short. What's that?
Is it public information though?
47
What-
days from off pornography. Yes.
Okay.
But the reason I'm saying that is because I feel like when I watch people do it on film, there's a dopamine hit that because I've quit drugs, I quit alcohol. I'm really down to 2 things, which I was doing, which I've quit one. The other one's nicotine, but through these pouches. And please don't tell me that's bad for me. I wean off that as well down the line. But so I feel like that dopamine hit was making me addicted to watching people do it on the videos. And like,
That's such a funny way to put it.
I just feel that I need to cut that out of my life, because afterwards I it's this emotional dump of like, what did I just why?
Sam, I kind of feel like, because I used to listen to Tinfoil Hat like all the way back in like 2018, it's like I feel like I kind of know you. I feel like we've had a lot of similar challenges in our lives. So I was like always like a very addictive personality, and like always when I was drinking, I would drink until like there's no alcohol
I would
left
drink
type
to
thing,
win. In recovery, I was
drink
trying
to
to
win.
set a,
I have to be the one that drank the most type thing. And when I used to smoke weed, like I would literally like smoke like 14, 15 spliffs in a day, and like that's the kind of way I was. Later on, I started doing some.
He's like that as well. We can
No,
tell
that's
right
a
now.
lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, but at least he can own it.
He looks Asian right now.
But check this out, Sam. So later on, I did some like genetic tests and stuff, man, and some sort of like lights started to go off for me. So I have this. So there's this gene called COMT, which basically just helps us to like break down certain things, including dopamine. So my variant of that gene is the sort of the normal quote unquote variant, which is normal working enzyme, which my understanding is that folks with that kind of variant, they would tend to plow through their dopamine faster than your average cat.
Yeah.
And then folks that have like a slow, for example, my wife has one half, she's like heterozygous for that SNP, single nucleotide polymorphism. So people like that tend to more ruminate, so they kind of get stuck on a thought and they kind of can't get over a thought, so they'll be like more ruminators type thing, you know.
It sounds like most women holding something against you for years. You remember that time? You're like, I apologize.
How do you remember all that? Yeah. So, but that's when I kind of started doing like more things to boost my dopamine, like taking the precursor L-tyrosine. I started taking that like every morning, and more like things like that stimulate those pathways, like B vitamins and copper and things like that. And honestly, man, it feels like that was just a biochemical vulnerability that just expresses itself as like addictive things. But if we can kind of find it and patch it up a little bit with nutrients and supplements and stuff like that, I think a lot of these things we can kind of get away with, even though we might be vulnerable to them.
I always tell people sex addiction is, and people think I'm crazy, but sex addiction is 10 times harder than any other addiction. Because I can not go where they drink, I cannot go where there's drugs, but wherever I am, sex addiction's there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like I can go somewhere and let's say it's a sober event and but there's a hot chick there. Now all of a sudden I'm like, oh, hot chick.
Do you think after like maybe a year of not watching porn, if you ever wanted to come back, you think you just go to some regular porn site and get off on just a regular pizza guy?
like a heroin addict going back to, like just the start?
Yeah, or
like,
do you think you jump right back into
just regular guy,
well, they
girl,
say with
missionary.
addiction, when you relapse, you go right to where you were before. Like you can be off for
true with
years.
heroin. That's how people die on heroin, is going right back to where they were.
Well, I mean, that kind of confirms what I'm saying. They're banging the same amount. They don't do
but
tiny
they don't have the
bits.
tolerance to it, and they die. That's
right,
what I'm saying.
but I'm not saying the tolerance to it. I'm saying you pick up the addiction where you were before.
Yeah, I got you.
And it goes instantly to that. So there's a lot more. There's like the morality of it all. Like my theory is that adult films are like humiliation rituals.
I think it may be more about that even than the dopamine thing. Like just
the dopamine hit is like,
bro.
You're like,
Sam, can I ask you? Have you ever? I'm not joking when I ask this. Have you ever like worked with like some kind of practitioner? Like maybe I have one buddy. He's like a psychotherapist and he does cognitive behavioral therapy. Jihan Sator. I think he told me he's been on Tinfoil Hat ages ago. But like I was working with him this year and I had him work with my wife as well. And I've been recommending him to some clients because he does this like, it's a hypnosis, but like you're totally like, you can just, if postman comes, get up and collect the post. But he helps you really just pinpoint things back in time, memories where basically the energy gets stuck. Like it could be like for me, like let's say traumatic event, like I tried to cross the street, car brakes screeched, my uncle, my mother, everybody was screaming at me, and that we kind of through the session you kind of remember that memory.
Yes.
And then he does this like really cool thing. It's like a neuro-linguistic programming thing where you take the memory, you pause it, you fold it up, crinkle it up like paper, and you put it in like an imaginary fire. Do that 2-3 times and just dissolves the memory and unblocks some of these things. Point is, have you ever like considered working with like a person like that? Because it could be like something that I'm not saying like a psychotherapist, but like more of these like cognitive, hypno guys where they can actually help you like get in your mind, get those memories. Maybe it could be trauma, it could be stress, just kind of, work it through and dissolve it. You know what I mean?
So if you want to get into the sex addiction stuff, yeah, for sure. I mean, I can go back to being introduced to sex at a very early age. That's why I'm really passionate when I'm like, we need to not be like the dark history of sex education. People really understood it and they were a moral person. They would be disgusted they would be upset with it where it came from. The introduction to trans, reading the kids as kindergartners when they're, I say it all the time, we're trying to learn ABCs 1, 2, 3. It's like what my kid is, she just started kindergarten, both of them, and what they're teaching them is the most basic of things. And then you introduce a drag queen reading a book, and that's advanced algebra. Like even your adults, fathers, mothers, grandparents would look and go, what is going on here? This is complex. And that's all done to introduce you to adult themes before you're actually ready for it. So that is what happened to me. And then I get to high school and I had 2 girlfriends for about 2 weekends. So my relationship with females is just off. I just wasn't connecting with them. I go to college and the energy is just completely different. I mean, it is everywhere, all the time, anytime I want it. And with great power comes great responsibility, right? So I don't know how to handle this. So I run juggernaut style, head first, right into it as quick as I can. And that messes me up too. So, and that has been the story of me. The introduction to pornography at a very early age, at like 5 years old. I talk about it. Like, I've been fighting sex addiction since I was 5 years old.
But, and not to interrupt you, Sam, but now imagine if you were a kid with an iPad.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like my daughter found PS5, right? And when she started hand to God, when she started playing PS5, the amount of time she played with her dolls went down significantly.
I love how you say she found it. Like,
it was in the living room.
She was walking in the forest, and
I
there was a PlayStation there.
I should have said discovered.
Yeah, okay. It was like Christopher Columbus.
Well, he didn't even discover anything.
No, I know that's the joke.
But the point is when she was introduced, Johnny, is that a fine word I can use?
Yes, I like that. There's some agency for you in that one.
Okay. Once she was introduced to PS5.
Once Santa brought it, that bastard.
It became a totally different thing. And now she's not playing with her dolls like her sister is because her sister doesn't care about PS5.
It's too good, man. It's Infinite Jest. It's that book by David Foster Wallace, genius. It's this form of entertainment we have now. That was about a VHS tape, but we have it now where it's too seductive for our primitive brains. It's just too enticing. It's all consuming.
Instagram, right? The amount of crotch that you're seeing right now, beeholes and vaginas, isn't natural to what we're doing. Like, women used to hide everything. Now they're just putting it right in your face, and your caveman DNA just wants to consume all that because we're still wired like cavemen, and we're not supposed to be seeing this much crotch.
You know what's good for that, bro? Just take some SSRIs and you're not going to want to bang at all.
Yeah, 100%.
Problem solved.
Problem solved. I'm going to get SSRI and just be like numbed.
You know, and you know what's funny that you say like older men aren't used to seeing that much crotch. Why is all my uncles on Facebook just looking at pussy all day long? I swear, like
no, because
that's what they're for. It's not,
it's not natural.
Yeah, it's not.
I do a joke about the time that I hosted a bikini contest at the Key Club, and this chick showed her vagina to everybody on stage. And like I talked about what a big moment that was for every man in the room because this was 99. You just didn't see that. So it was like this huge moment. And now I talk about how vagina is like the US dollar. They've printed too much of it. It's not worth anything anymore. It's just, oh, look, it's a vagina. And you'll still look because your nature says this is something special, but it doesn't have the effect that
you don't go pick it up.
I saw 5 of those today. I don't care. I moved on. It doesn't mean anything. But it's just like, again, in this weird way, feminism has taught women that like this low vibrational behavior is empowering when in reality it's a humiliation ritual. Because then these girls can't find a high value man. Like I've said this about OnlyFans. Like OnlyFans has destroyed the dating pool because you're taking like Viking chicks who should be dating like the most alpha of all alphas, right? Now these guys, what they call high value men, don't want these girls because their bits are all over the internet. Nobody wants their mother to be the mother of the child to be someone whose bits are everywhere.
Oh, there's a whole generation of kids too who's gonna have like the OnlyFans mom. Imagine what that's like as a child.
Oh, it's devastating to them. They get teased at school. It just destroys them. And again, it is against our primal drive right now. I mean, like, the marriage used to be you married a virgin and that was the gift of marriage. You give up your bachelor life and you're being single and your freedom of that, which is a different kind of freedom that comes with being married. It's actually healthy for you. But you would give that up for a virgin. Now it's like, oh, I'm going, these girls yelling 350 in their body count.
That's crazy.
What is that? Where are women doing that?
Well, you watch these like good-looking black guys do street interviews, and for some reason, a good-looking black guy unlocks white freaks. Like these white girls just feel like they could be the most honest they can, and they yell out the number. What's your body count? And they always yell 350. Always.
Who wants that info? I mean, like, I don't.
Well, that's what they don't understand. That's what they don't understand because nobody sits them down and tells them that is degrading your value. But nobody wants to tell them because that's old school. That's patriarchy bullshit. You're like, no, that's primal. That's as primal as it gets because it comes down to, is this kid mine or not? Wouldn't you lock it down in a girl who hasn't thrown her bits around? And they've done studies on it where, like, the more partners you've had, the less likely you can pair bond.
Mm-hmm. How mainstream do you think that is? That a lot of women? Because like most of the girls I know that from back home, at least, they're like settled down and they got.
I'm sure
normal.
it's big city versus little city.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I'm not even talking mid-major cities like, let's say, Charlotte. Like, I'm talking about New York City, L.A., Chicago.
Where the liberal mind virus thing is kind of taking root, right?
Yeah. And it's just this vicious circle that brings us into these SSRIs. So these girls who are told by older feminists about all these things they should do, and they don't realize that the older feminists, after they tell them that, goes home, drinks box wine, and talks to their cats all day.
Yeah, college has a role in it too. When you say like brainwashing these women into feminine studies and all that shit, it's just.
And they just don't understand the danger of it. Then they get on SSRIs, and now we're into an even crazier place.
That's another thing. By the way, I don't know if you ever heard, but women when they're on birth control, they attracted to like a different type of guy.
100%.
But it's similar. Apparently, there was actually a study in there that it's about. I know it's weird, but they looked at a songbird. I think it was like starlings. So they basically, because apparently these birds, they eat bugs and stuff that are in sewage. So there's runoff. So there's like pharmaceuticals in there. So the researchers wanted to see if does the exposure, whatever amount that is, to those drugs, pharmaceuticals, affect the behavior of those animals. So they took these starlings, was it? I had the study here somewhere. So they took them. Yeah. Wait, I have it here. Hold on. So, so the paper, it's at Elsevier. It's called Environmentally Relevant Exposure to an Antidepressant Alters Courtship Behaviors in a Songbird. So basically, the reason they did the studies, like I said, birds eat sewage-contaminated prey containing antidepressants, such as Prozac, fluoxetine. So they paired the males with the females, and then obviously they had the control group, not given any Prozac or fluoxetine, and then they paired them up with the females that had the Prozac. So apparently the male starlings sang less to the fluoxetine Prozac treated females than the control females, and interestingly, there was increased male aggression towards the Prozac treated females.
Damn.
Isn't that interesting? So that goes back to the thing we're talking about, like hierarchy. If your serotonin is high, you're gonna like want to dominate but if your serotonin is low, it seems like so if you're in a lower hierarchy, sort of lower in the hierarchy, I should say, and your serotonin is high, it seems like, I don't know, is it like a pheromone getting sniffed out? But it seems like other humans will sort of sense that, and they will bully you. They will try to like dominate you, and that kind of creates like sub hierarchies in the the larger social. Dude, I think it's super plausible.
And
bro.
if you kind of study, like obviously YouTube, there's all these shows now where these women will go on, let's say whatever, or fresh and fit, and they're all OnlyFans models. And again, that's a humiliation ritual because they just get lit up. But you know what they get? Hundreds of thousands of dollars of subscribers from that. So they sit there, they take a verbal beating, they're told how stupid they are, and then they go home and their OnlyFans explodes. And the big thing that women are talking about on there is how body count should matter. And it's very funny because if you kind of look like mating as a business, right? I'm not saying the selling of sex, but the seller and the buyer, right? You're saying, like, when you're dating, you got a girlfriend right now, but let's say you were single, right? And you're out there in the dating pool. You are the seller of you. The woman that you're talking to is the buyer of you. They want to get in on XG Inc. right now. Like you got this gambling website the thing that's just crushing right now. You got a lot of stuff going on, but you're the buyer of her as well. You're trying to buy her in the marketplace of dating. And what women are trying to tell everybody is that their body count shouldn't matter. It's ridiculous. That's sexist. You can't tell the buyer what they can like and what they can't like. And that's what Hollywood has learned, right? Hollywood's been telling you, like watch Apple television. You're going to see a drop off in Apple TV very soon. You're going to see articles saying that their subscriptions are because they're so woke and they just keep shoving this stuff on us. Hollywood's been woke forever. Nobody wants it, but they keep selling it to it going, you're going to watch what we want you to watch. You cannot tell the buyer owes you nothing. The seller needs the buyer. The buyer doesn't need the seller because the buyer can go and try to buy any other, in this analogy, can buy any other seller. You cannot tell. And that's the problem right now. Females are trying to tell males what they can and cannot like. And males are like, no, we don't want anything to do with this. Why am I going to settle down with something that's a used car at this point? Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
It's a big problem in dating pool. Women are trying to tell men what they must like, and they're failing spectacularly. Spectacularly. Nobody's dating anymore. They're talking about how nightclubs are going broke because nobody's going to nightclubs because guys have basically pulled themselves out of the dating pool because they don't want. Now, I'm not saying that men are perfect in any way.
Then they're just not dating.
Well, 20% of the men are. They're all the top 20% are getting 100% of the women. And the women are upset because the top 20 aren't going to settle down with any of the 100% because there's just so much market out there for them.
How much does this have to do with women, everybody being able to move around now? You know what I mean? It used to be like what you had to date was what was in your town, bro.
I used to go back home. When I went to college, I'd go back home and you would just see the carousel. You'd see people you would never think dating suddenly together. You're like, how did that happen? Well, they only have a limited pool to choose from.
Now chicks in Taiwan, bro, are changing their location to LA and just picking the hottest guys in LA to swipe right on, and then they're getting rental wifed or whatever over here. I mean, you can be anywhere in those apps that you want. Apparently it's just like loaded with Asians.
Did you have that when you were in high school, like everybody banging each other in the class?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was. I wasn't participating because nobody wanted to be with. I literally had somebody tell me she's a good friend of mine. We're great friends. She's like, in high school, she's like, if I didn't know you were funny, I'd think you were retarded. She literally told me that, and I was like devastated. I was like, oh my God. And then you go to college, it's suddenly funny is attractive, and then it's everywhere. But that's where we are. That's the problem right now, is that we've gotten away from, and just think about what feminism does, like told women to sleep around, and that's what guys want. How is that empowering you? You're giving the
you're
other
giving
side
it up.
exactly what they want. And so to wrap it back into here, so now we got serotonin levels high, and now you're depressed, so you're getting on SSRIs, and that's killing it, even making it harder to get pregnant. Wanting to, it's just absolutely diabolical.
By the way, there's I have had quite a few clients that have been on either SSRIs or birth control pills or both at the same time. Dude, that's like one times the other. It's not additive. It's like horrific, because apparently from one really awesome research, I've kind of learned a lot of this stuff. Apparently, estrogen, which is what the birth control pills, largely they're giving a bunch of estrogen, can actually stimulate the increase of serotonin, but also serotonin can activate the aromatase enzyme, which makes estrogen. So one kind of lights the fire on the other, and that's exactly where they want to have these women right now. They want to basically chemically castrate them, because a lot of these women, they will not be very fertile. Like it could take years to actually become fertile after stopping. A lot of them, like I had one client, she thought she could just stop the contraceptives, and then she get pregnant. But she did get pregnant, but she had 2 miscarriages. So it's not like they tell you, the doctor will tell you, oh no, you'll be fine, just stop it, get your period back next month, and then you're good to go. So they kind of like, a lot of these girls, they're like in their teens when they're already shilling them the stuff, or their early 20s, and then the estrogen will actually cause the increase of cortisol and serotonin, which can further like give you anxiety, depression, sleep problems. And then you go to the doctor, and then they're like, you know what you need? You need an SSRI. This will like sort you right out. That's the mad sort of.
And then they get you on that forever. That's it.
Yeah.
Forever patience is what the goal is.
Hey, Christian, have you ever heard, I don't know how rare this case is or if it's even a thing, but some guy that was on SSRI said that his dick went numb. Like numb where he couldn't feel it. Like he felt like the back of his hand.
That's like the reverse stranger, dude. You know how you sit on your hand and then you have a wank? That's the reverse stranger.
But
you're jerking somebody else off. That's crazy.
That's exactly why some doctors will prescribe it for premature ejaculation, because that's what it does. It numbs you, serotonin. Because again, just think about like how they discovered this, how like this despicable this research must have been in MK Ultra. But like, if you're about to die of some calamity, it kind of makes sense that the body is gonna have mechanisms to numb your pain in the last final hours or minutes. So this is kind of interesting, sort of separate discussion. But if you look at serotonin, it comes from the amino acid tryptophan, and then if you look at DMT, right, that is also like they're basically related compounds. So one is N,N-dimethyltryptamine, that's DMT, and serotonin is 5-hydroxytryptamine, right? So they're tryptamines, similar sort of pathways, kind of. But so it seems like at least there's no like actual research, at least that's publicly available. But if you think about, if you're about to like suffer a lot, like you're dying of starvation, or you broke your leg in the jungle and you're dying of pain and stuff, like serotonin will probably rapidly rise to help you, like numb you, help you kind of get over that sort of pain, up to the point where it can help you dissociate from reality if needed. So if you if you ever, like, I'm sure you had people on the show where they were like, part of like some kind of program, and they were like tortured, and they developed these sort of skills to kind of see into other realms. Like, I think that is like, the body is able to do that and dissociate from reality. And if you're lucky, maybe you kind of go to the astral realm, or maybe you're actually going to go to a realm that is like objective reality. But I think a lot of what happens is we just create our own like little sort of realm where we just dissociate from our pain, and that helps us kind of get through life. But I guess because they're so similar, maybe DMT, in a calamitous enough situation, maybe we can, I don't know if there's like enzymes that can transfer one to turn one into the other, but probably at the worst of it, if you're about to die, some of that either DMT is getting released maybe from the pineal gland, or maybe it's getting synthesized at kind of at the time of death, just to help you ease that transition into the next realm through the DMT experience. And maybe like serotonin is like just more like at this 4D level, it's one of those kind of chemicals that helps you again numb from the pain, dissociate somewhat from the pain, so that you can just survive and carry on, you know.
So
It's a bit sort of esoteric, but
I want to ask you another question real quick. I saw this article yesterday. I didn't read all of it. I just read the title because I was doom scrolling. And it said that people who take multivitamins are having shorter lifespans. And part of me goes, I think this is a psyop propaganda to get people to stop taking multivitamins because it's actually good for you. What are your thoughts on that? I know it might not be your expertise, but you know, a Photoshop,
dude,
a snapshot. Of it.
actually, I just this week I've been in discussion with some like supplement manufacturers. I'm looking to find, you know, a contract manufacturer to get some. My goal is to like get some really clean supplements maybe over the next year on the market, because the thing is, like vitamins are good if they're in the right forms. The problem is like if you go to like a website like iherb.com, they have literally like tens of thousands of products. And I'll tell you, I've spent literally thousands of hours scouring through that website. Like literally, dude, thousands of hours. They're searching ingredients, brands, and most of it, like 95% of it, is like garbage that I would never put in my body. Right? There is the occasional, you know, gem, diamond in the rough type thing, and that's kind of what we use. What myself, my wife, my clients, stuff like that. So I think the psyop is definitely they want to get people not taking vitamins to be scared, because like you know, you hear the occasional thing, oh, but what's the chance of like this vitamin like being toxic, taking too much of it? You never like your doctor will never like say, if you ask what about is this SSRI, you know, is this dose safe? Like of course it's safe. We have, you know, safety trials. But if you talk about vitamin D, or you know, certain fat soluble vitamins, they're going to tell you, oh, they're fat soluble, they can bioaccumulate. But actually when you look at it, for example, vitamin K, they've never been able to like kill a lab rat with a high enough dose. Vitamin E, even though it's fat soluble, it can actually become water soluble if there's an excess of it. Vitamin A, like you have to eat like a horrific amount of liver that is impossible and improbable to actually get toxic levels. So with supplements with D and A, yeah, you can get toxic levels. But dude, like not this winter that passed, but the previous year, I took like 3 million international units of vitamin D. I was like slathering it on my body. I was like, you know, it was in MCT oil, so very clean product, just MCT oil. So like, you know, like multiple times a day. And dude, I didn't get a sniffle that whole winter, right? So I'm still alive. There is potential risks. That's why you never want to like go crazy. I was just experimenting on myself, so my clients don't have to and stuff. But dude, yeah, it's definitely like I've seen the smear campaigns about vitamins, but the caveat is most of the things, if you go to like a grocery store, never buy anything in a grocery store. Like if you go to like the regular brands that come up on iHerb, let's say, you know, they have a few iHerb owns a few of those companies, but most of those, you start looking at the ingredients, you know, you have silicon dioxide, a bunch of like other fillers and crap. Then a lot of the time they're going to give you like a suboptimal form of the vitamin or the mineral, right? So for example, magnesium, it could be magnesium oxide. You know, that's a really crappy form of it. Calcium carbonate, which is just chalk. So they're good at marketing, they're good at packaging it, but then they're selling you really dirt cheap stuff that costs them cents. And then, you know, it costs you like $10, $15, $20, and it costs them literally cents to actually fill that bottle with that product. So you just have to be really smart and careful and not allow the marketing of the supplement sort of companies hoodwink you, because it's pretty, not that it's unregulated, it's pretty regulated when you kind of actually, if you want to do things right. But like it's the marketing side of things is it's like a cowboy land. Like they can say a bunch of stuff. They can be really convincing. Like clients will give me a product that they're taking $100 a month. I'm like reading this page the marketing page. I'm like, dude, I want to buy this thing. This thing sounds awesome, but I never will because I can see through it, but I can feel myself getting FOMO. I'm not getting this amazing seaweed extract from the middle of the Pacific Ocean that's gonna restore my glycocalyx of my endothelial tissue. Dude, who comes up with this stuff?
Is the-
Patented glycocalyx.
Is the issue that it's harmful or that it's typically not like in those forms bioavailable or it's less bioavailable? Which are you saying?
So, yeah, a lot of them are like not ideal in terms of like the actual form of like the mineral. There's like several different types of like, let's say, zinc, magnesium, the vitamins. Let's say, so for example, some vitamins, you have B1. It's like thiamine, mononitrate, hydrochloride, benfotiamine, subotiamine. So there's a bunch of different ones. They have good and bad aspects to them, like in terms of price, quality, absorbability. So there's actually like a lot to know. And what I see is a lot of manufacturers, or a lot of even like like kind of influencers and stuff. What they do is they go to a manufacturer, they pick a stock formula, they just slap their own cool branding on it, and they don't actually put much thought into the product. So there's a lot of stuff that is really just pretty crappy, but because of the marketing, the influencer pushing it, they can command a high price when you're actually not really getting all that much like usable nutrition. But the other thing is to the more purist people that say all these things are synthetic, that's like toxic. The thing is, when you take let's say an herb and it has like hundreds of different chemicals and sort of compounds and phytochemicals as they call them, you're taking chemicals that were synthesized by a plant, and some of those exact same chemicals with the exact same formula can be synthesized in a lab. Now obviously there's some nefarious ways they can do it, some kind of less savory, cleaner and dirtier ways to do it, but at the end of the day, that thing, if it's the exact identical molecule to something found in a plant, will have the same effect, largely.
But can I just get some
caveats.
context too? You said you had like 1 million IU of vitamin D over a winter. The Institute of Medicine or the National Academy of Medicine recommends 600 IU a day. So he had 1 million over a winter.
All right,
I think it's 400, but there was a paper
infants,
where there was one paper that based, I think it was from Sweden or one of those Scandinavian countries, where they said that due to some statistical sort of anomaly in the research, they could have like maybe underestimated that by like a tenfold, right? So when you kind of dig into it, I think I don't like anything by the Institute of this, that, the the NIH, anything they recommend. Kind of like when you think about it this way, like the RDAs for a lot of these nutrients, let's say copper, it's like 0.6 or 0.9 milligrams a day. Zinc for a guy's like, I think they revised it down from 15 to maybe 13. Dude, like those RDAs, who in their right mind thinks that they're designed for a human being that's optimally healthy? Like a bunch of these, like for example, when I was writing my last book, I looked at how they came up with the RDA for vitamin E. Apparently, it was the amount required to prevent like people with like hemolytic anemia from like having like horrific health complications. They decided that's the right amount, right? So that's not exactly designed for optimal health. So anyway, when you look at the RDAs, when somebody tracks their diet in an app like Chronometer for a week, and they see how woefully short they come up for most of their RDAs, which are designed to keep a factory worker from keeling over on the factory floor, right?
Crazy.
To keep the slaves operating the
Oh my
machinery
God.
without dying and falling off on the side of the street
You're
and
saying
collapsing.
the bare minimum, right? Like the bare minimum.
Yeah, dude, we are not. Yeah. Like most of us, even myself included, like because I have, on occasion, I will track my diet once in a while, and I'll see like, even I can't meet my RDAs, and my RDAs are like remember this is the government tells me what I need as a bare minimum. The government, clearly, the government probably wants me to eat the bare minimum without dying, so I can keep paying for stuff. But so point is, I don't. Personally, I know there's a lot of like purists out there, and some of them are like my buddies or kind of know them and stuff. They have their own views, and I completely respect a lot of those folks. But my personal opinion is in this day and age, if you don't supplement the diet intelligently, you are screwed with a capital F. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. Last two
Yeah.
questions, man. One, have they ever isolated a virus?
No, I don't think they have, dude. I don't think they have.
I've been telling these motherfuckers.
But let me ask you, why are kids being vaccinated for bacterial things now? Did you see this? Like,
Yeah,
some of those vaccines are for bacterial
Yeah,
things.
I mean, I have a cousin who's pregnant, and everyone's telling her not to take these shots, and she doesn't know what to do. I'm gonna call her up and be like, "Listen, you're my blood, your mother, your cousins, you're our blood. You know what doctor's gonna deliver your baby? You don't even know the. I don't make $1 off of what's gonna happen right now. Don't vaccinate these kids. I'm just telling you, and I'm losing that battle in my own personal life. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Sometimes a man is not the king of his castle.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no.
Well, but kids have always gotten like tetanus shots. That's bacterial, right? So,
Apparently, yeah, dude. Quick, sorry, I probably shouldn't be sharing this, but a few weeks ago, my wife, terrible time for my wife to be away, but she was away, and I was out with my kid, and we have a dog, so she's like very like comfortable with dogs and stuff. But one of my neighbor's dogs, she was like getting crazy in her face and like pulling her face. So the dog just got scared, just kind of nipped her, like just bit her a little bit, just on the lip, caught her on the lip, dude.
Rabies.
But like it just, dude, there was blood everywhere. Like my wife came back a few days later. There was like blood on the stair. I thought I cleaned all the blood off the stairs and like the outside, the entree, whatever. My wife's like, what is this? Is this dry blood? I'm like, everything is fine. You know what I mean? But so I kind of was disinfecting her lip, brought her home, disinfecting the lip and stuff. And dude, those moments, like, if you're not convinced in your position, you're like second guessing yourself like crazy. Like, what if it gets infected? Like, what if I'm like a horrible parent because I don't like take her to the emergency room and get a tetanus shot? What if so they know that these are the doubts, especially when you're pregnant and all the hormones are like up in the air, especially when you're pregnant or postpartum, which is even more sort of stressful because now you got a little kid you got to keep alive. At least the body was keeping it alive before. Now you were responsible. So they're so good at like guilting the crap out of you. I remember when my wife was pregnant, they do this smear test where they basically like swab your vagina and your anus, like they're just like, and they're like, was it streptococcus or one of those bacteria? And they don't look at quantitatively, like how much they found, or is it from the anus or the vagina? They just look, is it a positive? Yes, no, like a COVID test, whatever. So she was positive, and she told me, and we were planning a home birth, and we did a home birth, and everything, thank God, went well. But she told me, in case, because you have to have a plan in case you want to go to the hospital. She said, okay, if we have to go to the hospital, can you please like doctor the thing to say that the test was negative, so we don't have to have the conversation of refusing that, the IV antibiotics that they kind of have you do when you test positive for that. Like I told her, like, listen, don't worry. If it ever happens, I'm gonna be like strongly refusing interventions, as much as within reason that we don't need. But like that's kind of the level of fear that they put into women, and we were like super away from the whole system. Imagine if you're in California and you're dealing with that, the medical system and those brainwashed doctors, and how good they are at like throwing their weight and their medical degree at you and their sort of their status and their god complex. And of course I understand why so many women and parents, I remember another friend of mine, they had a 14-hour labor, they were exhausted with his wife, and then in the end they convinced him to do the vitamin K shot, and like he was like years later he told me about this, he's like feeling this immense guilt that he didn't have the strength to refuse that. But I told him, like, man, dude, 14 hours overnight, awake, stress, like they wore you down. They wore you down because they're like changing shifts, dude. They're tag teaming you, like tag one guy. Like,
costs more.
It's pretty messed up.
It costs more and it's faster to get a C-section. She don't have to sit
And
there
a lot
for,
more money.
She don't
lot
have to
more
sit
money,
there
exactly.
for 14 hours, 20 hours when she can just get a C-section. Quick in and out.
And a lot more cash, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot more cash on their
lot more
side. So
cash.
why not? Why not scare them and then tell them that they need an epidural?
Yeah,
It's so
everything's
painful.
about
then,
money.
And then they tell you if you've done one, you have to continue doing them. But I've had clients that have did it the first time, the C-section, and then they actually had a natural home birth or hospital birth with after a C-section vaginally.
It's crazy.
So that's another lie, dude.
How
Another
much
lie.
they trust these doctors. It's just crazy to me. Final question: nicotine, good or bad?
I think it's on the spectrum of good.
Yes.
How far
Johnny,
down?
That's it.
Shut
That's
up.
it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Let's just say
Johnny,
I had to stop. I had
Eurotrash
to,
Johnny, shut up.
let's just say I had to stop ordering. You know the rape
No.
from South America. That's like the wild tobacco that they kind of make a snuff out of that with like some
I've heard
herbs.
about that.
Dude, like at one point I had to like stop buying it from this company in Amsterdam. They get these great ones where you know the shaman and the village they're from and how they make it. Like they buy it and they support them there and they help them
Nice.
like plant, vines and stuff, ayahuasca and whatever. So I'll be buying it every month, like several packs, and it was awesome. But I had to stop because that's that addictive personality.
Yes.
So if you can like keep it like
Moderate. That's what I'm
2-3
doing with my
times a day.
nicotine.
Yeah, that's the name of your game is moderation. Everybody's known you for your moderation throughout your life. So.
Well, Johnny, I'm working on
and
it.
I-
Progress, not perfection, you asshole.
And I got to give it to him. He's at 3. He stays at 3.
3
Yeah.
milligrams?
good.
Yeah, I
No,
thought
I'm
he-
at 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, no,
he
he's
upped
not.
it.
I'm
It
at
was 3.
6.
Okay,
I'm
now-
at 6.
How many
That's six.
milligrams per hit though?
I don't know.
6.
6.
That's fine.
6 per pouch.
Thank
36
you.
milligrams a day.
Tell Dana
I mean,
that.
I mean, I know nicotine gum comes at like 1, 2, and 4 milligrams. So to quit smoking, you probably you need 10 of those. I guess, yeah.
I
do you, man?
My
you can't be
moderation
off everything.
now is much slower, a lot less at night. So I don't go to bed hyped up on nicotine.
Oh, does it
That's
make
it.
it hard to sleep?
No, it's just like I wake up the next morning, I can feel it. So I just want to
Like a hangover, or you just didn't sleep well?
I just I can feel it in my throat. If I
okay.
overdo it,
Gotcha.
I can tell. Like it's just banging them. But anyways, Christian, this has been an all-time banger, dude. This has been one of the best episodes we've ever done.
good.
Thank you so much. One more
Thank
time,
you.
please tell the listeners where they can find you.
Oh, thanks so much, guys. I really enjoyed it. So livelongerformula.com. There's a free masterclass, 7 deadly health fads. Learn why low carb diets and fasting and fish oil are bad for you. Boosting nitric oxide is bad for you, and a few other things. That's free. And then if you need help with your health, you'll be able to get in touch with me and book a call if you need it.
I gotta hit you up, dude.
Come on, you got to get that 180. You gotta hit
I
that
gotta get the
180.
185. Just
Dude,
don't take away 5 pounds from me.
Sam, I was saying to Dana, few months ago, if you want, I can send you the urine test to your home. All you have to do, dude, morning urine. Just get that, fill the cup, have her put it in the freezer, freeze it, whatever, and then all you gotta do is get UPS to pick it up, and then I will get the data.
Yeah.
And then I'll create your
come back,
protocol.
you're
I think
fucked.
you will definitely. We did it for Charlie Robinson of macroaggressions. We did like a live
Last episode.
analysis of his lab work. It was really fun. It's on my podcast.
Does it do testosterone?
It's urinary organic acids, toxic metals, no hormones. I honestly think urinary hormones kind of like a waste of money. These tests are like $500-$700 waste of money. This is actually finding imbalances in the body years or decades before they become a problem. Truly, like deficiencies of minerals, vitamins, oxidative stress, DNA damage, some of the neurotransmitters. There's some gut markers. There's like 160 markers from dude. You just take a whiz in the morning, freeze it, and then the guy picks it up. It is like couldn't be easier. So, Sam.
Get to it.
All right, we'll do it, Christian.
And on my dime, bro. I didn't mean like you have to pay for it. I'm gonna get it
it's
for
fine.
you as well.
It's fine. I'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Buddy, we love you. We appreciate great episode. Let's break it down. All right, what'd you guys think?
Good one.
XG, what'd you think?
It was a great one.
It was a great
It was
one
a great
for
one.
sure.
He had me thinking. I'm wondering if my mom or my aunts would have been on SSRIs back in the day. If you get what I mean. Now that
No,
it's
they're
so-
from Mexico.
You don't think in Mexico they're giving out SSRIs?
Are they?
I think.
I
I mean,
don't
I
know.
think it's worldwide.
It's a good question.
You should have asked that. That's another.
Why
great
don't you ask your
question.
niños and niñas? Why don't you ask them if
Wait,
they're on?
that's like
That's little ones.
Yeah, that's the little ones.
Tios y tias.
Yeah, that whoever they
Same
are.
thing, right?
Dude, it is all a giant mind F. That's
Oh,
all this
dude.
stuff is.
how do you know what to do? I guess just listen to Christian Yardonov.
I think the key is to get off everything synthetic. I think it's to get off everything God.
As you have the nicotine hiccups.
Yeah.
Is that a new thing? Did he create the nicotine hiccups?
Well, apparently it's a known side effect.
Oh,
Because
it's a
people in the
thing?
comments
Oh.
were like, "Yeah, that's a thing." Yeah. But I didn't never heard it until he starts squeak. We call it the squeaks on Broken Sam is what we call it.
I'm the face of nicotine hiccups and heavy legs.
The Nick squeaks we call it.
Hey guys, by the way, just so you know, dedicated to losing weight, I decided not to drink a soda for lunch.
Nice.
Congratulations.
What'd you
Sam.
drink? Just nothing? Water?
Nothing.
Just nothing.
Just nothing.
Just ate.
It's soda, it's
Just
soda or
dehydrated.
nothing?
I just love. I mean, that will probably be the hardest vice to give up.
Really?
I love Coke.
There's so many good alternatives now that would like natural.
I love the
Sweetener.
taste of Coke.
Yeah, I like Diet Coke.
You tried that the poppies? You know, the little
Opiates?
no.
Have we been banging fentanyl?
No, there's these like carbonated like little soda wannabe poppy things, and they're all over it. All the females have them. They're supposed to be healthier soda
Well,
pop.
anything I see all the females having, I'm immediately skeptical of. Like, what if they?
Yeah, well, wait till we find out what's wrong with White Claw.
Yeah. Dude, it's everywhere, isn't it? It's crazy. I come home the other day, my refrigerator is just half full with White Claw. I was like, what the fuck?
What are we doing here?
I was like, I had some people over.
We should ask Christian about White Claw. What's in it? It's probably like
Yeah.
estrogen and SSRIs,
Killing
and
birds.
cocaine.
The birds are gay now.
Guys who drink it and just go power bottom.
It reminded me of that story you used to bring up about the guy who was sued the pharma company because he took a Parkinson's medication that made him have a crippling gambling addiction. He gambled his entire life savings, and then he could not stop blowing dudes suddenly. A straight guy.
Yeah, or that's the guy that knocked his head in England and he woke up gay and he's like, I'm just a cock zombie now.
Similar.
Didn't he win that lawsuit?
I don't know about that. I looked it up the other day, and I couldn't find any information about the result.
There are medications that say side effect is gambling. And I think I know, I'm not going to say their name, but I think that happened to somebody where they started just gambling a lot.
Anything messes with your brain. Dude, my grandma had like a brain bleed for a bit. She's fine now, and it made her disinhibited. So
I don't even know what that means.
Like lowered your inhibitions. So when she's going out in public, just hitting on like every guy.
Oh, really? Your grandma was slinging it?
No, she's always been like outgoing, I'll say.
Dude, you're coming home, there's just dudes hanging out in the living room. You're like, Grandma!
I mean, it wasn't far off. It was a thing for a while.
Driving Miss Woodard? Is that what's going to be next?
No, it's not her surname. But
Okay.
in her late 70s, and she's very youthful. But
And it was known like in the medication, like it was.
no, it wasn't med. She had a brain bleed, like a
Oh, and it just triggered it to be.
What do they call it? Huh?
Oh wow.
So hold on, the brain bleed caused it,
Yeah,
or the
because of the area.
medication?
It was like a stroke, basically, but a weird.
But
kind
it
of,
hit the area where she's just like,
in that part of the
I
brain.
don't care, tits, sun's out, tits out.
Yeah, and like cursing, and she's always cursed a little for an older person.
Why do I
like-
feel a couple M-bombs came out, a couple of them?
No, she's not like that. No, but
Okay. It's the
no,
South,
that's the other half of my family.
Okay.
Truly, no, she was. Yeah, it was strange, man. It was strange.
Yeah, dude, that's
you
got to
know,
be
the other-
weird when you see your grandma just hitting on dudes.
It was
That's
odd.
got to be traumatizing.
It's not comfortable. And
Grandma, that's my friend, and he needs it.
she'd always dated young too. Like she married a guy when she was in her 60s, who was maybe 40, like 20 years younger than her, and moved to England with him and lived there for decades. And yeah, so she's like her on a 10 is not far from you, probably. I mean, like
Just getting crazy.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Yay.
Even in her 70s.
Grandma.
Bro.
Yeah.
Wild.
Gilfs.
You think
Love
Sam,
gilfs.
You think Sam would have had a chance?
No.
She would have hit on something.
How much would that affect the show if I was just banging
my God.
Johnny's grandma? Johnny, what? We could still work together.
Oh dear. Oh dear. He mentioned psychological research, and I was thinking about. I remember, because we're both psych majors, both of us, right?
Yeah.
Represent.
What a giant waste that was.
Oh, huge waste of time. But I remember reading about all the research they did and just how inhumane it was. Like all the experiments, the early, like psychology is built on just human suffering. All the Scientologists are partly right about that. The early psych experiments where we learned a lot of what we know, quote unquote, about psychology was just cruel shit where they tortured people.
Yeah, they literally used human beings as guinea pigs in the worst experiments possible.
For a whole century. Yeah.
And then everyone's like, just trust the science. You're like, it comes from torture, right? Yeah. Animals, humans. Like, it's just gross, dude. Like, we did something on doom scrolling where they wanted these people at the University of, I don't know, I want to say Iowa.
Sure.
Allegedly.
Yeah. Whatever.
We got to say it.
Idaho.
Whatever. I think it's Iowa, though.
Some damn place.
But they took orphans, dude. And half the orphans had stuttering problems. The other ones didn't. And they wanted to see if they can convince the non-stutterers to start stuttering. Stuttering, like I did right there.
That's
right?
Funny.
Is that crazy? That's how dark it got.
I started stuttering on purpose because I watched.
You get chicks?
No, I watched Letterman religiously, and that was kind of part of his but that thing. And so I started doing that on purpose, and it became like a speech impediment for me as a kid.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that's how much I loved Letterman. He gave me a stammer for a while.
When Eastbound and Down came out, I just couldn't stop talking like him.
Oh, really? Yeah.
They just like, please stop trying to act like you're in Eastbound and Down.
Let me hear your Kenny Powers.
I can't do it anymore.
No? Okay. Wait, just a Southern accent?
Just like shit talking Southern accent.
He's so funny, man.
That's my favorite. The first season is my favorite season.
Don't know if I've laughed harder.
Of any sitcom ever.
It's very
that was
fun.
good one, yeah.
Another thing I want to say, too. I remember I was 14, 7th grade. I was dating a girl in maybe 8th or 9th grade. And she was 15, probably.
How old were you?
14. And
Johnny, nice.
But here's okay. So I saw this round case of pills, and I was like, "What is this?" And her mom happened to be in the room, and they both got it was birth control, obviously, and I didn't know what it was.
At 15.
Well, yeah, and what it was is they gave it to her because she was having really bad periods. And they gave it to her at 15. So
she'd stop having periods.
Well, so they would be milder. It wasn't enough to stop her period, but at 15.
Yeah,
I pray to God
chick,
I don't have to go
I was
through
dating
that.
some chick. Same thing. Her mom gave her birth control. Not to in my head, I'm like, oh man, we're gonna bone sooner than later. Yeah, I was like, it's in her head already. It was for her acne. She had bad acne, and supposedly when you start getting your period, it gives you really bad acne. But
when I first moved to LA, I get giant like welts of acne on my neck.
Oh, I remember you having
giant welts. And then for some reason it just stopped. And I was like so blessed. I also stopped drinking. Crazy. Like I would get giant Starbucks with all the syrup in it. And I think that was causing me to have like weird breakouts.
Because you got to think about it. When you have a kid and your kid has that bad acne, you'll do anything to make it go away because your kid.
I use that. What is that called? That stuff you put.
Clearasil?
No, what's the new one? Proactive.
Oh, yeah. Well, dude, when I was in middle school, at my school, the cool kids in middle school, not in high school, but in middle school, the cool kids did band because the poor kids had to do chorus because they couldn't afford instruments.
Yeah.
So it was this weird thing where everybody wanted to do band.
So the white kids went to band and the black kids went to chorus.
You got it.
Mexicans.
Yeah. And we didn't have a lot of Mexicans. Not back then. Now we do.
Now they're everywhere. They're like rabbits.
I just got the worst. I got the worst acne. And it ruined like a solid year of my middle school, dude. And what I figured out was the mouthpieces on trombones are made out of nickel, and I'm allergic to nickel, and it was giving me terrible acne. And so I switched to plastic. I'm immediate glow up, dude. And
that's when you start pounding your teachers.
You got it, bro. You got it.
Dude,
get it going, dude.
Johnny would have been one of those kids that get caught now with the teachers.
Yeah, we had him. I sent you guys, you and Howie, like every year I was in school, we had at least one get busted, a teacher for. And a couple of them got married the students later.
They had to, so they didn't go to jail.
No, they're still together, bro. No, this wasn't. This was after.
Imagine
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to say that because I'm sure there's people who listen, but it'd be interesting to marry the person from high school, and that's it.
I mean,
Like
dude,
your,
I watched.
like your high school sweetheart.
Yeah, but
That'd be weird.
it's just interesting to me because I have friends of mine who I know have been in long relationships, and they're like, "Am I missing out?" As a guy that did that to the max, you're not missing out. In the time, it seems like it's the greatest thing ever. I've been saying this on every show I can. It is easier than ever to get laid. It's harder than ever to get out of it.
Right, but aren't you the one who's talking to everybody about settling down and how that's a fulfilling life for
Yeah,
women?
that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
It
you
is.
are? Okay. I thought you were saying you
Because
did.
I had that reaction go, God, could you imagine marrying your high school sweetheart?
Oh,
Then
I
I
got
kind
you,
of
yeah.
thought, you know, like if you look at all my friends who got canceled, right? They were the guys that were going around and just banging everything.
Gotcha.
Then the guys who didn't get canceled because they weren't chasing skirts and putting themselves in bad situations.
It makes me think of Woody Allen just did Bill Maher's podcast. And he talks about, he's been with Sun Yi for 35 years now, dude. And he says they still have every meal together. There's not a moment. They're like John and Yoko. Like they're just inseparable throughout the day.
Yeah, he's an interesting one because we've done that show. Johnny thinks he got framed based on the show that we did.
So do you.
I think he got framed. And it's hard because you want to be like, you know, because you have Candace Owens defending,
Harvey.
Harvey Weinstein. And you just talk to a lot of people. They're like, I knew him. He was scumbag.
Weinstein. Yeah.
Weinstein, right? But then you get it because there's always that picture of adult Woody Allen with that tiny Asian chick, and everyone thinks that's the same, same, and it's not.
It's his daughter with Sun Yi. Yeah.
That's his actual daughter,
His actual daughter. Yeah.
and they just want to run with it because he looks like a perv.
And you have his own children who were in the house at the time. He never lived as a father with Sun Yi. Never lived with her. Barely had met her until she was basically grown.
Hey, real quick, go on.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, but the kids that he did have all came out. Like Moses Farrow came out and said that their mother was abusive, and she was the one that was crazy.
I mean, it's getting crazier and crazier. Go to samtripoli.com, grab the go to events. Chicago is this week. Ventura is coming up. Tinfoil Hat Comedy is going to be in Tulsa, going to be in Oklahoma City, going to be Austin. Grab your tickets. Let's pack it out. These shows are selling out there. It has nothing to do with me, but it's packed out. Then going to be at Skankfest November 14th through the 16th. And then the big show. Well, 2 big shows at the end of the year. We're going to have Austin at the Mothership. And then the Tinfoil Hat Comedy Night is going to be live November 21st at the Virgin Hotel. We're going to be in that like the Oxford room or whatever, Oxford room or something like that. A really nice room. We're going to do a big show. And then Sunday night, we're going to the football game. I'm trying to get 5 tickets, all of us together, plus Tino. So good luck on getting that, but I'm going to try. And then Minneapolis.
I think maybe wait until the Raiders lose their first couple games.
Yeah, then we'll go to the next one. Minneapolis on December 11th through the 13th. And then I am bringing in a new year with my good friend and soon to be yours, Michael Romanelli at the Dojo Comedy. Joining me that night is Robbie, the Fire Bernstein, and Shane Cashman are both going up doing stand-up at both shows. So it will be a good time. Just today, I put up 5 episodes.
That's crazy.
5 from the late last night to this morning. 5 episodes: Doomscroll, Broken Sim, Cash Daddies, Tinfoil Hat, and whatever this is with Austin Picard and Brad Binkley go down. Premium content's on fire. Kurt and Sam experiment #1. People loved it.
Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
I like that. That's
The Kurt and Sam experiment. That's crushing it. 3 episodes a week on there. I'm also putting 2 of those episodes on Rockfin, and you can find me on Locals on Rumble, 1 episode, and Substack, 1 episode. Cash Daddies, talk about it, Johnny.
Yeah, how he has found a way in yet another market downturn to profit. Very good week for Howie.
Howie is incredible. So he's still putting the tickers in there, but I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. So we'll just leave it at that. We'll just leave it at that. I mean, the guy loves to give it away. I mean, it's like unbelievable.
Well, it's
to me.
okay if he's telling when he's selling, I guess.
I mean,
'cause-
I don't think he should put any.
Yeah. I mean, he should tease it. Like, be like, you won't believe this pick.
Yeah. Guess what I sold at? Can we do that? Can you
Yeah.
talk to him?
Yeah.
Don't put any tickers in the name.
You remember your thing about him, right?
Yeah, he's an idiot savant, heavy on the idiot.
Yes, yes.
Look at this. Go back.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing here?
Dollar cost averaging on September 19th. If you want to play along at home, it's QQQ puts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, to be fair, that's from the 28th, but he shouldn't have done it back then.
He should have done it. Dude, you're acting like that was 3 years ago. That was last week. Okay, go back. I can't win.
Come on, Howie.
Come on, go back down. The Chaos Twins. I'm so excited, dude. The episode's being colored right now. And
we don't say
I
that.
guess, everybody, that we're going to start figuring out this animation coming. So grab your Chaos Twins issue number 2. And then, dude, some great, obviously, Christian is there, the Live Longer formula. Sign up for that. He's a big supporter of the show, and he crushed it today. So if you enjoy what he said, I'm going to hit him up on some stuff as well. Go back. And then Chemical Free Body. That's why I do it every day. Chemical Free Body. I take my supplements. I didn't do it today, and I'm feeling it. Probably do it after this because the guest is a little late. Yeah, man. I take Chemical Free Body every day. I feel great. And we're just gonna keep banging it out, man. Anything you need. I also take his here. Where is it? Not bacteria. What's that? Parasites. Gets rid of parasites. I take that as well. Feeling better, loving it. And then just everything on the website, social media.
Oh, wait. What Army? Don't forget the t-shirts that's rocking.
Oh, the new t-shirt. Go up. PSYOP season takes no days off. We're in the middle of PSYOP season. Every day's a new PSYOP. PSYOP season takes no days off. Only $20. Where do you get $20 shirts?
Nowhere.
Go back down. And then
The
Wood
Wood
Army, dude. Would ya? We all would. Just Army green it. Join the Wood Army. It's powerful. We're going to do whatever we can to save our population decline. Anything else?
Hit that like button. Go check out my podcast, XG Marks the Spot on YouTube, please.
Come check me out on Twitter. I'm arguing all the time with people on there at Johnny Woodard. And then Broken Sim is out. Watch it, please.
Please watch it. And guys, back to Christian Yarloff.
Try again.
Christian
Yordanov.
I mean, dude, like how deep does the deception go?
Oh, it's the deepest.
Like, what are your thoughts on the fasting thing, Johnny?
Well, it correlates with, he was really ahead of it on that. It correlates with a lot of the people that were really into fasting have stopped doing it that I knew of. And their reasoning is not quite as extreme as, the downsides aren't as extreme as what Christian was saying, but they're saying that the benefits aren't really triggered at anything sane. We're talking like days of fasting required to get you to the autophagy what did he say?
I don't know. This guy's got so much beeping to do.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Is that what he said?
Autophagus.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So much
I had a friend who tried to do that to
you can
himself. when he was
autophage
in-
yourself.
Oh, by the way, your friend is every guy you know has tried it one time.
Yeah,
See if he can
remember
kiss his own dick.
that was like one of the greatest urban legends. It was always somebody different depending on your generation.
Yeah.
But for mine, it was Marilyn Manson, who had a rib.
No, but
removed.
Ron Jeremy could do it, and Joe Rogan says he can do it.
No, but remember there was the urban legend of
And look how thick Joe Rogan is for him to be able to fold.
That's crazy.
And you got to be super hung to do it.
I
I
too.
mean, you got Johnny to put his mouth with his foot where
he
Yeah,
didn't-
Johnny
was on
has
the,
weird. He's limber in some ways.
But what I was gonna say, everybody has that urban legend where somebody got a rib removed, you know, a celebrity, so they could do that.
Yeah.
It was Marilyn Manson for me. I don't know who would it have been for you. Do you remember?
Well, our urban legend was Ron Stewart drank so much
Well, that's a
man
different-
sauce they had to go to jail.
Yeah, we had.
That was before bukkake porn.
Mine was
we realized
Alanis.
that's not
That's
possible.
not possible.
Mine was Alanis Morissette. Was the one, my generation's version of that one.
What, she took out a rib to go down on herself?
No, the jizz backstage jizz thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like Alanis Morissette after a show was just going off on a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Was that the VIP ticket at her show? Come to concert, sit close, and get sucked off by
might be
Alanis
a-
Morissette, allegedly.
Might be worth it.
Well, I would buy that ticket.
You want to be in front of the line, obviously, but yeah.
Those Canadian chicks are freaks. All right, guys. I thought it was a great episode.
Yeah.
And enjoy these highlights.
Yeah, I didn't think you would see it because it's a Korn concert. So I
Korn.
didn't think it would be in your feed.
No, dude, it's gonna be in my feed. It's a crazy ass dude. I can't play. I mean, let's play it.
Dude goes full Pee Wee Herman at the Korn concert. God forbid a man has hobbies.
He said Bad Omens. Have you seen Bad Omens? I didn't even realize he said that.
No, what's
Okay,
what's
so the
Bad
lead
Omens?
singer of Bad Omens, he's actually like really fucking pretty, so I get that one. Watch, hold on. Like,
Is it rock? Is it?
it's like this kind of music.
Oh, like old school rock kind of.
No.
What type of murder it was?
Oh, a pool of blood.
That's what I'm saying.
He
Like
said
I
it was a
wasn't.
homicide. That's what I was trying to play.
Yeah. But a homicide could be. Well, it definitely was an overdose.
That's what I mean. It's a homicide.
Yeah, so it's got to be
something
someone
kinda
got
crazy.
stabbed.
Why would they have it supposed to be a peaceful?
How crazy would it be if it was an actual, like, if the cops come out with it was some pagan type of sacrifice?
So I have it's 2 minutes long. Can I play that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Who was killed at Burning Man has been identified. The Pershing County Sheriff's Office identified him as 37-year-old Vadim Kruglov. He was from Russia, but had reportedly been living in Tacoma, Washington. A member of the camp he was living in at the festival shared photos of him. The sheriff's office says his body was discovered on Saturday night. Anyone who saw Kruglov before his death is asked to contact the sheriff's office.
Investigation underway at Burning Man after someone was found dead at the festival. The sheriff says someone flagged down a deputy to tell them about the discovery of a man's body at about 9.
Chasing, I don't know who I watched. I watched.
This fucking guy.
So it was chasing something that was drum and bass, but.
Timmy!
Timmy! No, it wasn't you, Timmy. Try again. Timmy, did you not do your homework? Timmy!
Mr. Garrison, haven't you figured it out? Timmy's retarded.
Don't call people names.
Timmy was dope.
You saw that?
Yeah, with the trumpets.
Trumpets,
That fool-
right?
No, that fool came
Okay.
out. No, that fool comes out. If you get a chance to see Timmy
I should
Trumpet,
pull up a video,
he
but I
comes
don't have
up
the
with
music.
some energy. He comes like
Yeah,
he's one of the
dope.
DJ.
That's why I was like, damn, that's
Yeah,
actually really
he's not a
fucking
boring DJ where he just comes
No.
out. He comes out with the trumpet. He's like,
Yeah.
"You guys are here to party," and then people get
The
all
music's
it.
good, the vibe's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Especially if you're in the White House. That's a crazy question. What would you throw out the window?
I've never thrown anything out the
Right?
window. Like, why would I throw anything out the fucking window?
So I was like, wait, what's
At the end of the day, you're not even really getting rid of it because it's just at the end of and now it's just on the floor.
I was just wondering what was on your mind when you asked that question. But okay.
I guess a joint. Like I might throw that out the window.
So they questioned him about it. Did you see this?
So there is a video that is circulating online now of the White House where a window is open to the residents upstairs and somebody is throwing a big bag out the window. Have you seen this?
No, that's probably AI generated.
A fake video?
Well, it's got to be because I know every window up there.
It looks like this is on the 15th Street side, I think.
Yeah.
So right here.
Yeah, those windows are sealed. Those windows are they're all sealed. You can't open them.
That'd be a crazy auction.
If
Between
it wasn't
billionaires.
Epstein's, I bet you he could do it.
Between billionaires, that'd be a crazy auction
Yeah.
for who want Bill Clinton's.
There has to be a
Can't-
ton of art like that.
Hmm?
There has to be a ton of art like
Yeah,
that. Like
like-
some art that we can't see.
Don't forget about the other one when George Bush is playing with Jenga, and he's got the
What?
planes.
Oh, really?
You've never seen that one?
Oh, I'm gonna look that one up.
That one's as crazy as the one in the red dress. Red dress is crazy because you're basically demasculating Bill Clinton, which Sam says that Bill Clinton's known to like little. So that's
What?
crazy.
Bill Clinton?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Look at that one.
What?
What a
Okay, let me
coincidence.
pull
Look,
this up.
literally planes.
And then Epstein.
And then no planes and Jenga at the bottom, basically saying, "I'm playing with Jenga and
That's
planes."
crazy. I've never
That was
seen
one. That was
that.
one of Jeffrey Epstein's.
That's his. That's
Epstein's. That was right next to Bill Clinton's thing.
What?
Look at that. That's a plane. And then, but look.
Did you see The Rock? These videos of The Rock. So I'm gonna play this. It's
What,
no,
you think that's AI
it's
too?
no sound. No, look how crazy it is. I'm gonna not play it with sound. It's no sound. I'm just showing you.
Oh.
See how he looks?
I mean, they say he lost 60 pounds.
But he looks creepy. You know, it's like a Ozempic face. You know how like your eyes sink in. So I do have them have a clip. I'll show you.
He looks good though.
No, he does not.
When we could look, what do you
Alright,
mean?
Okay, just oh my God, here goes the what do you mean?
All right, what do you mean? He looks great. He looks yoked. I'm sure he has a six pack.
He looks lean. But look, okay, so
People are very concerned with the way The Rock looks right now in his latest public appearance. Now, this is a video from a premiere that was posted yesterday, and as you can see, The Rock looks very different. Just in case it's been a while since you've seen The Rock, this is what he looked like during the Pain and Gain movie just a few years ago. Now, this one is a drastic difference. Obviously, this...
Here's a clip from the latest Broken Sim. Did you see this story that there was a hot mic that picked up Putin and Xi talking about organ transplants and immortality?
Yeah, well, these guys all know that they're going to go to a special warm place where pineapples will be inserted in orifices.
I believe that too. Yeah.
That's why they
Good
don't
to
want to
know.
die, because they don't want to get hot pineapples in their hot holes.
Putin's translator is heard saying in Chinese, biotechnology is continuously developing. And then the translator adds, human organs can be continuously transplanted. The longer you live, the younger you become, and you can even achieve immortality. This is
Who
Xi
wants
and Putin.
that? Johnny does. Like Johnny, Xi Jinping, and Putin all want to live forever. What are you running from, Johnny?
Some predict that in this century, humans may live to 150 years old.
Well, in the Bible, you used to live to 400 years old.
Oh, Methuselah was much older than that. What, 900?
Yeah,
right?
900, dude. Oh, Johnny, you'd love to live to 900. That's
969. Well, I mean, if it's in the Bible, why not, Sam? It's nothing wrong with
because
that.
I do not want to live to 900 years old.
Yeah, but
I
that's
think
just
you're-
more about you than about me, I think. That I
No,
would-
it's just I'm 50 and I'm tired all the time. I can't imagine what 900 feels like.
That's what I'm saying. But once you have the kids out of the house, you'll get that some energy back and like a lust for life again.
Dude, once the kids are out of the house, daddy's going to Costa Rica and you'll never hear from me again. I'm going to use burner phones to talk to my kids. What
Putin was-
number is this, Dad? Don't worry about it.
Don't want them
Don't
to find
share
you.
with your mother.
Don't want to find you and ask for money and stuff.
I'm just going to be on the road again.
You're
Just
like-
can't
you're
wait
like,
to get
"Kids-
on the
kids,
road
I
again.
I gave you the Wise Wolf gold. Don't call me. Leave me alone.
I gave you my pot of gold.
Putin was asked about that. He said, I think when we went to the parade, the chairman talked about it. He tried to push it off on Xi. He said, modern means of health improvement, medical means, even surgical ones related to organ transplant, they allow humanity to hope that active life will continue differently than it does today. So,
I'm sorry, I'm out.
that's
Unless they
weird,
give
though,
me
right?
a brand new hip. If
Oh,
Xi
yeah,
Jinping
of
can
course.
hook me up with a brand new hip, I'm all.
You're gonna be. It's gonna be like you're a car, and you can replace any part you want.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want to replace my hip. That's it.
Well, okay. So, have you ever heard of the ship of Theseus paradox? Do you know about this?
Oh, I talk about it all the time.
Well, you may have heard about it. Maybe just don't know by the name. But it's like, okay, so what if you have a ship, a boat?
A lot of
And-
N bombs in the comment section. Just telling you right
I
now. A
wish you
lot of
could
N
see it.
bombs. A lot of N bombs.
You have a ship, right? And you repair
Which means
it.
I'm rock hard right now.
You repair this boat over the years. And at some point, more of it has been replaced with new parts than is the original boat.
Yeah.
And then eventually it's all been replaced. Is that
that's called the Real Housewives of Orange County. It's the same thing.
Is that the same ship though? Or is that a different ship? It still goes by the same name, but is that the same boat to you? Because you get how this applies to your body.
Right.
Is that if you replace all the parts, is that still you?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
It is.
You have the skin around it, so you're still the same person.
Oh, wait. So most people think that the seat of consciousness is in the brain, but you're saying it's in the skin. That's unique.
I'm saying, okay, if you have a car and you replace the engine, it's still the same car.
Okay. I buy that. Sure. Now, to me, if you're going to give me some kind of eternal life situation, it has to include at least the main bits of my brain have to be in there. If not, it's not me.
Yeah, Johnny, will you if you replace everything, will you still be not liking pooping?
I love a good one. I just don't. Now that I started having coffee every day, it's much more regular.
You've been blowing it out. Good for you, Johnny. Blow it out.
Just daily or every other day. Yeah.
I love a good blowout.
I wouldn't say I love it.
Johnny, a lot of people think you're a lizard. A lot of people talking about you got reptilian tendencies.
When you're in the comments, it's just like.
All right, I'll stop commenting, Johnny. This is pay pigs. How are we supposed to get that pay?
Yeah, but these aren't even pigs that are paying.
Yeah,
these are
pigs.
Free pigs.
Pay the pigs.
We got to
pay
make
the pigs, guys.
We're gonna bend over for you. You got to at least throw $2 at it.
If you're gonna massage our magic holes. John, I just started watching Wednesday last night, which I was really amazed because I went to Netflix and it wasn't even a top 10 show on Netflix.
Oh, really? Because it just came back.
Yeah, it's very weird. I was like, how is this not top 10? And it's just like Hollywood can't stop having anorexic chicks beating everybody up. It's unbelievable to me.
Oh, is she fight? Because my girl loves that show. Does she fight?
Everybody.
She physically, I thought it was just like
she high kicks a guy to the head, a grown man to the head out of nowhere.
So, I mean, she has like magic or something, right?
I don't know. I don't think she does maybe she does magic.
Okay. I thought it was like Harry
psychic powers.
Is it good?
What's his name? Haley Joel. What's his name? The actor?
Haley Joel Osment.
Yeah, he's in it I couldn't believe how small his role was. I'm like, why are you taking this?
Well, there are a lot there are a lot of actors in that. Like the original Wednesday Addams, whatever the hell her name is, big forehead lady, is in it apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's all occult dark magic in that show. It's very weird. It's like we are in the satanic season. You know, it's so weird. So right now, Johnny, the Epstein victims have all come together, and there's a guy named Mike Tracy. You've heard me complain about him before, and he's like heckling them at their press conference, saying basically that Virginia chick was a fraud, that she had lied, that they're all being BS. And he brought up this, I can't say because we're on YouTube, but panic. Panic. Do you know what I'm saying? Panic.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Okay. And he's trying to make it something. And it's like, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Somebody that is the hill you want to die on.
It is strange. I mean, I guess when you question everything, you sometimes question the wrong things, you know?
But listen, like his notion is that people are making this up. That there's this giant like psyop going on to call everyone Phil. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, how many things do I have to list that were 100% proven true?
It's crazy.
Like how many times?
And what they've all just colluded to be heard like behind the scene, you know, on like hidden camera to say that there's
what he's basically saying is that two people were convicted in two different courts in two different states were complete frauds.
Yeah.
That Jeffrey Epstein's conviction and Ghislaine, her conviction was all BS. I mean, it's the dumbest thing. It's the dumbest hill to die on.
By the way, when I saw that interview with her brother, I realized I had never heard anybody say her name properly up to that point. Because have you heard the word Ghislaine? Ghislaine. Yes, Ghislaine is in jail having a very difficult time right now. I mean, those are rich people.
Furlough because she can go work at Jamba Juice on the weekends.
They're
Johnny,
so rich.
I've already said this on the show, but you're getting old when all the songs that you used to do drugs to, are being played at Jamba Juice while kids are running around. That's how you know you're getting old, when your drug songs are corporate songs. Pretty soon you're going to go into the elevator. They're going to be playing Metallica.
Oh, that's a sad day.
It's coming.
We're truly old when they're playing Metallica. In
the elevator?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's funny. Like, does oldies radio still play like the 60s and stuff? Working my way back to you, babe? Or is it like the 70s, 80s, 90s now? Do you know?
When you go to classic rock, it includes the 70s, 80s, and 90s now. Like you could hear like Rolling Stones followed by Nirvana. Nirvana is the number one. And then a little bit of Beastie Boys makes it in. It's very weird.
Really?
Yeah.
Beastie Boys are on oldies radio, classic rock radio?
Yeah.
That's so strange.
I'm a sabotage. Yeah, I hear it all the time.
Oh, that's a great song.
Yeah, it's a great song to do karaoke too.
Yes, it is. Yeah. I want to honor someone right now.
Johnny, is this going to be a moment of honor?
Well, yeah, we'll say that. It's a moment of honor.
Will you ever have a ring of honor for the show? Like people will you remember? That's
a good question. Well, I'll yeah. That's a good.
Who would be the first person in a ring of honor?
Well, it might be. Well, does it have to be people? Is it people we just appreciate, or is it people that have had something to do with the show? That's the question.
I think it's people that have had a giant impact on the show. Okay. Who would you nominate? I know who I want to nominate.
You go first.
The Atrocities chick. She has to be number one. Yeah. Has to be number one.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to tell you, guess who would be number two?
Go on.
The Punisher.
Yeah, he was good, huh?
Yeah, I think he made a big impact and his fat root.
His freezer meat?
His freezer meat. His freezer meat.
I'll have to think about that. But yeah, this person probably wouldn't go in the show Ring of Honor, but would certainly go in the Hollywood Ring of Honor if I was to make one. This guy, Graham Greene, died. And I just was tweeting about, like, anytime you needed an Indian in a movie, this guy would put in the best.
Oh,
shit.
Johnny. Yeah, I know, dude. Was he even Indian? Was he even an Indian, or was he just Mexican, plain Indian?
He is Canadian. What do they call them? First Nations up there, or whatever the hell. Yeah, he's a Canadian Indian. So yeah,
that's a lot of stuff going. That's a lot of stuff going on out there. So Johnny, have you seen this? Can I send you this? Can you put this up? This is causing a lot of chaos right now. I'm putting it in the private chat.
Tatanka. Remember that?
Tatanka, dude. Tatanka.
Tatanka.
Johnny, when I worked at a strip bar, me and the black bouncer Malik, we went up stripping one day, and the stage names were Maverick and Tatanka.
I remember that story. I didn't remember that detail though. I'm glad to know that.
Yeah, Tatanka was my stripper name.
Tatanka.
Oh, and then I just have.
Maybe you could be the new Indian actor. That was pretty.
My
good.
dong would be doing the chop.
Did you fluff it? Did you fluff a little bit before you go up?
Never fluff it, dude.
You're lying. What did you send me? I didn't get anything.
Just click it.
What? I didn't get anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's in the private chat.
Oh, in the private chat. I got you. Okay.
So this is something that just happened. This gives me hope.
If you'd like to hear the rest of this episode, subscribe to Broken Simulation in your podcasting app or check us out at youtube.com/Sam Tripoli.
We go deep, homeboy. Aaron, open your mind. Drink from the fountain of knowledge. There's lizard people everywhere. That's some interdimensional shit. Wake up, Aaron.
This is only the beginning.
Dude, you just blew my mind.
Tinfoil hat.